monitoring things and things like that. And you were so disappointed, right? You were so disappointed because you felt some of you stayed home, some of you didn't vote. Yes, you felt that, well, you know, you have it locked, and so you didn't go out to vote. You cannot afford to make the same mistake in the general coming up.
Over 100,000 didn't turn out. That was
yes.
in 2020 for the general. That didn't turn out for the local.
Yes. So you can't afford to make those decisions. You know, to stay home. You stayed home, and therefore you were so disappointed. Some of you were cussing out the government at that time and analyzing things and cussing out MPs and say which MP need to work and which MP.
And it cost us 19 divisions.
Huh?
It cost us 19 divisions.
Let us do the postmortem. Let us look at where we have weaknesses now. Let us support and sorrow division by division. I can tell you all the divisions that we have lost. What were the results in those elections? And some people are dismissing it and saying, well, you know, that not relevant. It is relevant because that is how you are going to be able to know where you have lost support and where to build support. Yes?
Most definitely.
Great. Yes, I was saying that Scratchy, that when I see what is happening over there in Christiana, it appears as if the momentum is going to be swinging back to Labour over there, man.
Yeah, I mean that's a traditional spot in. I don't know what happened, why we had some little misfortunate, why we had a little mishaps there, but originally Christiana is ours, you know.
Yes.
And I think Labour again, you know, local, general, this coming general, I feel like I feel like more energy is out there on the ground right now.
Yes.
I can feel the party energy coming in, so we are expecting
the momentum is picking up, eh?
Yes, we have a momentum that's picking up.
Right.
Definitely picking up. We are gaining traction.
By way of information.
Labor rights are rallying around. So we just need to keep this momentum going all the way up to the date, and trust me, we're gonna show Jamaica something.
You think it's gonna be a massive surprise, eh?
It has to be, because whether we want to believe it or not, right now, neighbor, this election is very, very important. This term is unprecedented. It's the last leg where the government has to close up a lot of these works, a lot of things that the government have going on. This is the last leg to close off some of those projects. So it would be good for the Jamaica Party to retain state power.
You know how I see it, Scratchy, that we've taken when you look at Jamaica as a developing state, that we have taken a couple steps forward and then we take a few steps backward.
That has always been our downfall. That is to show that has always been our downfall.
Yeah, and then we go backward. And I think that the reason why I am trying to get more people engaged in this process is because at this point, I don't think Jamaica can take a chance.
That's why this election is so important, neighbor. This third
not
term,
only for labor rights, but for Jamaica.
For the development of Jamaica, this third term is very, very important. We have to send the Prime Minister and neighbor. This third term is a term where we need to give him that big of a mandate again.
Yes.
So that his hands are not tied when it comes to certain things.
Can we broaden this beyond labor rights? This is not about the Jamaica Labour Party only. This is about
definitely not. And our Prime Minister is not just for the Jamaica Labour Party only either. So
yes. So I that is the fear that a lot of Jamaicans are having is will we regress if we make a change? Will we regress, or do we continue on the path that we are on? Is the path we are on a progressive path? Can Jamaicans see progress? Is there believes that the country has turned the corner, that the foundations have been laid, and we can take off from where we are. It is risky to reverse these gains, Scratchy. Haven't we suffered long and hard? We can't afford to return to where we're coming from, man.
With this Prime Minister over the last 9 years and showed us his intention that he's not just he's not a talker, he's an action man. And I'm telling Jamaica that this third term coming is very significant. This is where he has to close out a lot of these projects and start focus, so he can move his focus now to reach in the small man, the man who always on the corner and say nothing go on. Peck is not coming down to look a small man. This is that time for all of that. So Jamaica has to understand that we have to rally around the Prime Minister in a big sense. But what I like in the neighbor, why I'm not really concerned about the Prime Minister, the way how the PNP is campaigning so far, the PNP is only campaigning towards its base.
Convince Jamaica. You don't think that they can convince the other set of Jamaica, those who are outside of their base?
It's very difficult for them. The PNP only can connect with their base. If they look at their and the type of persons who attend their meeting and the aim of those meetings, you see that it's just the base they're trying to connect with.
Yes, I don't think this time come message has a broad excellent coming.
Yeah, okay. So me look on it in the PNP were campaigning about change, that the people need a change. But when I look at the election show me that the people didn't need a change, because if the people did really need a change, that local government election was for the PNP to sweep that election, and they didn't sweep the election. So that show me say the people don't need a change.
I think so too. So I do not think that there is any narrative in Jamaica that suggests that Jamaicans want a change. I do not see it. I do not see that there is a narrative on the ground that Jamaicans want a change. I think
Jamaica doesn't want a change.
No, I think there are some pain points that we have accepted, Scratchy. That there are some issues on the ground that needs to be addressed, and I think that the government is sensitive to those issues and are addressing them. But I don't see where the time come.
No, that's not working.
Is appealing to Jamaicans.
That's why I'm saying time come. All of those tragedies are just for the PNP base. They're just campaigning towards their base because they believe their thinking and their ideologies that they have a bigger base. But what they don't understand is, we are here on social media campaigning. The Prime Minister is going around the country. I'm going to launch this campaign. What the Prime Minister is doing, it's going to have a wider effect on the wider society, not just on JLP supporters.
We don't want this to be an election of the base going up, Scratchy.
No, we don't want that to be an election of the base.
We want to appeal to Jamaicans. Yes?
The PNP always campaign on slogans. But slogans is not working anymore.
Slogans.
Good afternoon.
No, you have to come with your manifesto now to tell people what you're going to do for them. The slogan alone can't work.
I agree with Scratchy 100%. The PNP message is directed at its base. Solely directed at the grassroots. The thing is, they are hoping that they will pull out so many votes from the grassroots that will outnumber the JLP's middle
exactly
class.
foresight.
Right? The JLP now has one single assignment, just to create a marketing message that will appeal to the grassroots. That's where we have the greatest challenge. And once we make inroads into the grassroots, the PNP has no chance at all. Because
foresight, how do we get to our grassroots? Or what is affecting our grassroots?
Well, certainly not necessarily. You see, we are more a fact-based type of campaign. We are doing a more fact-based type of campaign, which is good for the intelligence.
Yeah.
Right?
Good for
Right.
democracy.
It's necessary, right? But you don't necessarily reach grassroots with raw facts, right? You have to design a message that will elicit a kind of emotional reaction, right? As I always say, it's not about what they know. It's mostly about how they feel, and that is how you make them feel, not necessarily what you make them know, right? So we need to bear that in mind, right, when we are designing our messages, right, to appeal to the grassroots. It's about the excitement. It's about, as excellent would I say, the catchy slogan. It's things that make them feel good, right? And of course, you know, they respond to handouts as well. You know, it's about the vibe and the excitement and the energy and so. So when the JLP campaign goes into higher gear, then you will see we start making more inroads there, because them into the feel is the feel good part of the politics that get them going. That is why you see Mark Golding keeping so much stage show and him not having a real message. So you see,
it's just a base that I connect with.
Yeah, it's just to create a feeling among them. Right?
So then the strategy is to rev up your base.
Yeah, rev up your base, right.
Put your people and get out your people to vote for you. But then we have to broaden the menu then in terms of appealing beyond the Labour Party base. Because I would argue that the Labour Party at this time enjoys a more solid voter base than the PNP, you know. I think the PNP's base has this idea that the PNP has a larger base than I think it's a fictitious.
The past couple elections have showed us that the PNP base has sink. The PNP base has declined, because if you look at their general election voter turnout for 2020 and compare it to the local government election of 2024, it's not much different.
Yes.
Right. It's not that what we are doing is good enough.
Accessibility shortcuts.
Right.
22 items. Voice guide.
It's not like what we are doing. There's anything wrong with the approach. It's not to replace. It's not to change what we are doing. It's to add to what we are doing, right? Because what we are doing, we are putting out the facts, right, and that appeal to a segment of the electorate, like the middle class and all of that, people who are going to be voting based on issue, right, and policies. But the thing with the base, no, the base is louder, so they can set the narrative. They are the one that will trumpet, that will rev up the support for the government. They're the one that is going to go out there and make the party look strong, feel strong. You know, they are the ones that.
But just to say you want to start now for side.
Yes. So the base is
important
now, because you can't come off too boring in politics either, because
Yes,
even the
definitely.
intelligentsia that you are appealing to with the message and the policies, if they don't get the feeling that the party is strong on the ground, right, they will withdraw their support. They will become dormant until election day.
There is something that still bothers me, I must tell you the truth, I haven't found the answer to it, because when I look at the reality of Jamaica today, when I look at the performance indices, when I look at the numbers, I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something that somebody needs to tell me. I don't see how the party is 5 points ahead. I can't see that.
What do you mean? You think it's less or more? Do you think it's less or more?
It should be about 8 or 9 points, sir. Something has got to, is a miss. I'm not connecting the dots in terms of how well the perception. Jamaica has been transformed, you know, sir. You know, a lot of people.
And again, no, neighbor.
Don't go after the poll.
You're not wrong. We might be within that 8 or 9%, you know, not because the poll might don't pick it up. Again,
Yeah, don't go after
the
the
persons who already make up their mind that yes, I like what is going on, I like what I see, those persons are like undecided. I might decide that, okay, I'm going to give the Jamaica Labour Party my vote. But in a poll, those persons might still say they are not sure.
Yes.
Don't go after the poll, man. Just forget out the voters, and that's what you have to do.
Now, we not rely on poll, but I said, based off what neighbor said,
No, I'm not saying you rely on it, but just tell neighbors that don't go after the poll.
The base is not
I'm looking. Dimi, I'm looking at. I think this. A lot of persons, you see, were calling before for the party to put out its polls, because they were too quiet. You know, the PNP was putting out polls, and the party had polls that it didn't put out. And now that they have put out something, by their own numbers, they are suggesting that they are 5 points ahead. And 5 points, based on my calculations, guarantees them 28 seats coming from 2020. The 5 points is a loss of support over 2020. I cannot see how the party has lost support over 2020. I don't see how that is possible in Jamaica today. How could you have lost, unless the PNP's base has gone back home, or there were PNP people voting for the Labour Party?
As I said, neighbor, based on the poll, someone they look at the not sure. So the not sure, those persons are the persons that we need to watch. Polls, I think,
The uncommitted?
Yes, polls, I think when I go to a poster.
Let me give you what I have found out.
Yes.
My understanding is that the uncommitted are breaking two and a half, about 2.5 to 1 for the Labour Party. For every 10 uncommitted polled, 7 are suggesting a preference for the Labour Party over the PNP.
Okay, so what I tell you, sir, now? Yeah,
it is an intention, excellent. Yeah. It's an intention. Is that intention going to be translated into actual voter support? And that is where the campaign becomes so important.
Exactly.
Very, very important.
Neighbor, let me ask you this too. One of the things I don't want us to do, is to really overconfident, because you spoke about about 9. As can't your argument. I don't know if me a misquote or a mislead myself. Are you saying that 9 out of every 10 people
7
as a JLP? As a JLP? That is what I said.
7. About 7.
7 out of what?
Of the uncommitted card.
Uncommitted.
Okay, of the uncommitted. All right, I'm going to tell you. Remember said it. You see, what if you understand it? I'm going to want to underestimate the PNP, Let me just set a cunning facts, All right, somebody said earlier on, I think excellent. So the PNP always come with a slogan, a catching slogan. For example, I remember 1989, them come with this slogan, so we put people first. 93, them come with a slogan, say Black Man Time. And then I don't remember the slogan 97, but I remember clearly.
Better must come.
Yeah, no man, that's a family at the 70s, I think.
Black Man Time knows not, I think better must come.
Don't stop the program.
Better must come and family at the...
Don't stop the...
Better must come was 1972. We
Yeah,
put
in the
people
70s.
first 1980. 1993,
Right.
Black Man Time come.
Black Man Time, and then 2002, don't stop the progress.
The progress.
Don't stop the progress.
Yeah. And now, never come on with
Which
this.
was full speed ahead. Oh, the
Yes,
same
full speed ahead, don't stop the progress. No,
And
never
people
come on
power.
with
Yeah,
this.
that's how they say people power.
Yeah, people power when Porsche.
With
Right.
Porsche, with Porsche was people
Yeah,
power.
with Porsche. So them always have a slogan, so we can't underestimate them slogan neither. Because slogans
Here's the
sometimes...
divide. Here's the
They
divide.
always campaign. They always campaign with slogans, but if you check it out now, the slogan things now. People want to see a manifesto. People want to see where you come with now.
Yes, excellent. Yes, excellent. But all me I say is that let us not really underestimate them slogans. Because you see catching things. You see catching things where people really me not know if it ever translated in a vote still, you know. I don't know. But we still have to don't underestimate them for say. To just brush it aside. We have to really look on it.
Carl, you have people, you have both parties have them base.
Yeah.
The base them vote for the party. The base them vote for the party, and the base will always vote for the party no matter what.
Sure.
The uncommitted, the uncommitted when neighbor speak of. They don't vote for party. No. Uncommitted don't vote for party. Uncommitted vote for government. Uncommitted when neighbor speak of, those are the people that vote for a government's performance. The government have to impress them, not the party.
Yeah, and those are the persons that we are trying to seek.
You remember the Neville Martin song, Trump?
Yes, sir, my leader, Banya.
Yes. No, you hear what the gentleman just said, I think it's Carl, about emotions. How could a striking song win a party election, an election, sir?
Exactly. But not just that, you know. And I don't know if you've heard us discuss that song over a period of time when now we realize that about 90% of all the things that they took claim for in that song, was lies.
But you realize that they are still using the song?
Yes. And now there's a Labour Party.
There was a time when they had stopped using it, you know.
Yeah, now there's a Labour Party version right now for true.
Have you heard the Labour Party version of that song, neighbor?
Huh?
Have you heard the Labour Party version of that song?
Andrew Holness Barnia? Yeah, I've heard it.
What is going to be our slogan now?
As I was saying, Chuck, do you guys, with one argument about manifesto, do you think manifesto only target a certain demographic of the group?
Yes. Manifesto target the undecided, the uncommitted.
Yeah, and the articulate.
As I said, the base of the parties, the
base don't care about the manifesto.
Will always vote for the party. Right?
And the base don't care about the manifesto.
Isn't the base scratchy to be the messenger? Shouldn't they know what is in the manifesto so that them can say?
They should.
Huh?
They should.
Yes.
They should.
Yeah, it's just like in a 2016. I remember clearly when the JLP come out with the 1.5 argument, and a lot of us, as what we call the base of the party, diet and so forth. We remember we issued some pamphlet and you know we sell the program in 2016 and it really did sell off.
Yes, we said we campaign for 1.5.
You remember
we do well. So the
dropped in halfway through. With the manifesto. The manifesto was launched in halfway
with the achievement that we achieve, what is gonna be our slogan?
No, we have to just work on it and package it and make sure say it out there sell and it sell off.
There's a time coming, but we supposed to have a time come for what?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, our
slogan will have to be based. The whole mark of this campaign will be on our performance. It won't be a mudslinging. It will be, I tell you this, what the neighbor say, it will be what we have done, what we are doing, and what we are gonna do. It's simple. The slogan have to be based around that. So the Jamaica Labour Party is not about the catchy slogan. You know, our slogan is always when 1980. What was Siaga's slogan in 1989? Anybody remember?
I'm not even sure.
No,
I really am not sure.
In 1989, Siaga's slogan was "Don't let them wreck it again."
Don't let them wreck it again.
Don't let them wreck it again.
All right, let that be assessed. So you have a slogan.
But we have to compare it with a slogan where the JLP would have used to win the election. Sure.
No, but our slogan at this time is that we ain't going back. They started it, but we the bloggers not pushing it. We're not.
Has always been the slogan.
I don't know. I don't sure, and I don't know if we really craft out a slogan yet.
Active and strong, them here.
The Labour Party has never been about a slogan, and that want to not understand. We have all
Yes.
listen to me.
Never been about slogan.
Listen, there has never been a Labour Party government that has been unable to campaign.
Never win on a slogan for Chuck. What we come is a policy or a program we say we're going to do.
Better must
Like when we say we're going to do the 1.5, we come with policies and
that
a
was
program.
1972 Manley. Michael Manley, 72, the better must come.
So you realize that we have been able to remember the PNP slogans. But I think we don't. I think New Schooling has a change. Jamaica needs a change.
Jamaica need a change now. That was 2007.
Yeah.
2007 Jamaica.
Yes, and
but Jamaica really needed that change.
Yes. That is after 18.5 years, Jamaica needs a change.
Jamaica really needed that change. Jamaica was asking for a change.
We don't remember the Labour Party campaign slogans at all. Slogans are important though in the foresight.
Slogan has never been the base of our campaign.
What are you saying about slogan?
We have always come with a policy or a program that we're going to do, Chuck. We won the election in 1.5. It wasn't a slogan. It was a policy, a program.
A policy, yeah, true.
Yeah, man, it was a policy.
That's what we use. That's what we use.
And we really sell it and sell it good. We do well with selling it.
Yeah, we sell 1.5 and it resonate with the public sector.
The timing after when it was announced was very good.
Yeah.
I think
yes, Andrew, work is JLP's slogan. Work is always our slogan.
Performance, yeah, man. Performance over propaganda.
What was the slogan in 2011?
I don't know, we don't remember.
I mean, the election was so much rushy. That's what we're not sure if we did have a slogan, Joe.
Yeah, bitter medicine.
Bitter medicine, now we lost one.
No, yeah. Chuck, don't do that. That wasn't a slogan.
It wasn't a slogan.
The slogan.
That was just the truth.
Prime Minister will start the truth.
But we agree, so that help if we lose the election.
Yeah, no, that election, we were going to lose that election. The one
I want to tell you the truth.
You know what I didn't mean think that cost us election in 2011? One of the main thing that cost us that election is that too many people thought we already won.
Because of
the hype and everything, for sure.
I'm telling you that. A bitter medicine thing.
Chuck, what you say, we lose it?
Too many laborers think we did win already.
No, man. The world, there's another thing going on. I said the world incursion that happened and what heap of thing that happened, man.
Too many people think we win already.
Yeah, but Chuck, one of the things when me hear the Prime Minister,
many persons were vexed at the party at that time, man.
One of the things that I heard the Prime Minister say after, when a journalist asked him, then why you call the election so early? And they did have more time leave. Him said too much uncertainty was in the market. I mean, I agree with him.
That was the thing. I believe the Prime Minister should have never called election.
It's like he must say, get it over and done.
I think he should have never called the election call.
More time for flex.
What about the field call? I
don't realize that Andrew not seem even the least worried about nothing that is happening. If you follow Andrew, it's like Andrew, his confidence level is very high that he's going to win the next election.
Yeah, of course he's going to, because he's
very confident.
Foresight. See, with Andrew, he's the Prime Minister.
Nothing that is happening.
He's planning his strategy, man.
Hold on, excellent. You see, well, you must remember, you know, inexperienced Prime Minister at the time with such a short time came in 2011. And
speak up a little, Dimi.
Yeah, you hear me better now?
Yeah, man, go ahead, Dimi.
Yeah. So remember, you know, Andrew Holness had two persons that was advising him at the time. One was whether to call the election that time, one was whether to call the election after. And I guess that was playing on his mind as to why he should have called the election. And I think he called it based on the stronger relationship he had with one, because the election was called after the Christmas, right?
Yes.
Right. So Edward Seaga told him to call it after the in the December, Bruce was telling him to call it before, you know. So, and then now, you have the other veterans of the party who was saying, call the local government election first. So, with a leader just coming to an office and, you have one person this will tell you that, one I tell you that, and our next one I tell you this. So, you know, I think his head wasn't really settled at the time, and I think that have made him stronger today. And I believe for me, it is the work of Almighty God that because Andrew Holness have come back stronger, more focused, and better in 2016. I'm sure all of you will agree with that.
Thank you,
Most
thank you,
definitely.
Dee. Foresight. What about this one? Do you think he should go early or should he wait?
Wait until the budget is read. Wait
Which
until
is next month. But how much time after that do
wait
you think?
until the Spark program is at a more advanced stage, right? And a high energy campaign. Wait until the campaign builds and the momentum build more, in your favor. And a lot of labor writers are of the view that Andrew is not the same Andrew. His reputation or his popularity, right, is not going to be as great as it was in 2020.
But you don't think labor rights are hyped, no man? You don't think that they are ready?
No, not getting there, but not as hype as I think I would want them to be. But I think Andrew, there's a potential that Andrew could enter into this election even hotter than it was in 2020. If the momentum continues to be. Yeah, man.
Tell me.
Based on what we're seeing now on the ground and the reception that he has been getting, I don't think, we need to have any concern about. You see, there's something about a man that would have been through a lot, would have been dragged through the mud, would have been, attacked and overcome all of that and then come back stronger. There's something about that effect. Andrew's on the rebound now. We need to watch it. If you look at the reception that he gets now in the street, you see that it is building, that his popularity is getting.
Yes.
So there is a potential that he could very well enter into this election, even hotter than it was in 2020.
You think you think
Foresight.
that it is building to the crescendo that he had in 2020?
Even more, even greater. Because as I said,
I heard Bruce Golding said something, that
the victim will enjoy greater support and the rebound than one who was not victimized at all. No, because you start seeing the people start rally around him now and say, leave my prime minister alone, because he has been doing so much good. And the good thing about it is that Andrew has never defended himself. So when you don't defend yourself, then the people come to your defense. Right?
Wow.
It's like you say, man,
an interesting perspective, Foresight.
Yeah, man.
It is an interesting perspective. You are saying that because the PNP has targeted him a lot.
Yes. Jamaica people don't like bullyism. They will always run to the rescue of the victim.
Remember 2016, it was all about his house. You see what happened to them?
Foresight and Carl, remember, it's not only Andrew Holness alone gets that get that kind of thing when them are try tarnish him character, It's the same thing happened to Edward Seaga, you understand? And that's what defeated him.
No, but the difference with Edward Seaga is that Mr. Seaga used to
fight back.
But that's not, even him to fight, but then use another strategy.
No, you're not understanding what I'm saying.
No, I'm not cut here. I'm just explain it.
But just want to be clear because
I'm clear, but they always use another strategy to win over.
Andrew,
but the people.
Right. PJ was the quiet one when it was going up against Seagas. PJ didn't come across as the aggressor. Right? Seaga was seen as the aggressor.
Yeah, but Foresight, let me explain something to you. You remember what happened in 1997 down in Tivoli Gardens?
Mm-hmm.
A brother named called Rowan Fraser Bagaba. Bagaba yet?
Yeah, I know Bagaba.
Yeah, Bagaba was like next to Dodos. Some people say them are cousin, but the two of them was a strong man for Tivoli Garden. Them go down there and kill Bagaba. Police went down there and killed Bagaba. Then Edward Sega went down there and I try to tell the people them to calm down. The same police them turn around and say Edward Sega I walk up and down with gunmen. And that make a big news. Then shortly after, a couple months after, they announced the election. Remember, you know, Willie Agard twin dead in 2001, you know. And them say a guard man them kill Willie Agard. Zin? And then shortly after, then call an election. It's just how them do it is to make it look like a monster.
I know what you're saying. I wasn't a man who played the victim role so well.
No, listen, not all. And look in 2007 when Siaga stepped down. Bruce, they not trouble Bruce, you know. They make sure Bruce go, because obviously they would have won the election. But they should have been reminded about the local government election before Sierra went out, he had won the local government election.
Yes.
But because I'm running the same notion.
And the by-election in St. John.
Yes.
I'm not talking even local government too. Sierra won the local government election.
Yeah, man, I know that.
Yeah. So you see when 2007 come, Sierra they already stepped away and give Bruce. Say Bruce to come and run. When Bruce ran the election, them not trouble Tivoli Garden. Remember now, you know, in 2010, when you did have the Dodo saga with the extradition and all of that, when them signed one treaty where Peter Phillips signed without even the cabinet knowing about it. We don't know if somebody can do something like that. Right? Sign, and then after, now the same Tivoli Garden them use and try to win the election. Whenever a leader is in Tivoli Garden for the Jamaica Labour Party, them send police down there all the while.
And Damien,
and to mess up the place. And then into like be a gangster and so live down there.
Hold on, my brother. But give me a little thought there. Hold on, my brother. All of what you say, there is some truth to it, but you have to look on it on the flip side. Remember who was in power in 2010. So if we were in power, so that means we send the police them. That
no, we remember, you know. Peter Phillips. No, I said no. Me know what you say. Me not get me. You know.
Me hear what you say, but
yeah, but me know, and we send the police directly. What I'm saying, me know you try. Me just put it in a more context.
You need to
remember what happened is that them say the U.S. government want Dodos. That's why I go back and say Peter Phillips signed an agreement, a memorandum of understanding with the U.S. government so them can wiretap people's phones in Jamaica. That was not passed through the cabinet because laws like that supposed to pass. Him go ahead and them do something like that. So because them have a strategy in order to win the election, that's all them do. Remember saying if it wasn't for
the simple point I'm making.
No, listen, no. Now continue. After I finish. Remember now, you know, if that never happened with Dodos, Bruce Gordon still would have been prime minister because he was that charismatic and he was a good leader. And that messed up the whole thing when Andrew took over now and called the election. Them lose.
Yeah, but hear me now, my brethren. But just kind of, you know, what you say, you're right, but there is certainly more strength to put to it. When I want you to understand and you have to remember, it was we in power. And it was our prime minister who called the state of emergency, who were cast the police them for down there and the soldiers. So really and truly, we don't really want to go to, you know,
we don't want to go to.
There was an agreement. I'm going to tell you what you used to go call. You see, before that would never have been admissible. It would have been inadmissible in court. That's what Bruce Golden was banking on. Because remember, him have lawyers who are represent him and explain things to him. Him not knowing that.
Remember, in the end,
him not knowing that something was signed. Remember, if you don't know something, you can't argue on it.
No, but hear me now again. Although me not going to go too far with it.
We don't want to go upon this too much.
You want to go too far, but may I say to you, you're going to have to remember, at the end of the day, we are the one who will call the shot. We are the one who will call the shots in terms of, we are the one who will call the state of emergency. We are the one.
All right. He had to call. He had
to. The campaigning and the approach.
Yeah.
I want foresight.
Yeah, I could go back to the campaign.
I want foresight to expand on the prospect of Andrew becoming stronger in 2025. I'm interested in that type of argument because I am noticing also that there's a trend a solid trend of support that the Labour Party is regaining. And you are suggesting, Forsyth, that this is because Jamaicans love him and they have recognized that the other side has tried to kind of tear him down.
Exactly.
But because he has been working on their behalf, they are going to respond at the ballot box.
Yes, and there's a build-up of them rallying around him, protecting him. It's like he becomes now, they are running to his rescue. To say, leave the man alone, let go the man's shirt. Stop pressure the man.
Why hasn't the party though? Because the party has not, in my view, sufficiently defended him against the attack.
Let me answer that one. Let me take that one. For one, I personally believe that he would have said to them, don't push back too much, because we have an old saying to say that if fish never up in the mouth, you will get hooked. And also another old saying is that how we read them law in a them book. Understand that mean when I go book you, them that tell you. So the more you talk, the more you just spit out of your mouth, is the more person see what's inside of you.
Yeah, they have been told not to respond. Because that happened, it opens up a different kind of room. And then what Andrew is trying to avoid is the distraction. Because when you start responding, then you get the PNP to talk about what to fuel the narrative that they want to fuel, and for you to be on the defensive talking about things that they want to talk about. So what would be discussed in the public domain now would be PNP topics, right?
And then Forsyth, when I catch about you see everything what I must say about Andrew now a backfire upon them.
What I know?
You must self-destruct right now.
Yeah, but may I go say this? I am in agreement that Andrew should not say anything. But there are times where I feel like the party should have been more vocal on certain issues. But as I said, I trust my leader, and it seems to be bearing some fruit now, you know. But I still think that the party members, not Andrew now, I don't want him to say a word. He's playing his role very well. Keep quiet, be the victim. Make Mark Golding go and make the utterances.
In politics, Forsyth, you can't afford to peak at the wrong time. You know?
Exactly. I think that's the
wrong time, because it's like a runaway train. You know, once the momentum is with you, it is unstoppable. You know, and it appears as if the PNP peaked last year and has lost. It's difficult to keep up with that.
And Forsyth and neighbor, we have to remember, you know, that we live in a society where this momentum swing and switches very easily, you know.
Yes.
Where the momentum tend to switch very, very fast, you know.
Yes.
Why were the PNP supporters down at Parliament chanting, call it, Andrew, call it? Is that
no man, neighbor, no, that is what them do every time. Every single year. Remember now, what you have to remember, every time when Parliament are open, you have supporters from the PNP and from the JLP come out of Parliament where they have shown speech. So
yes, but
both sides, if we were in opposition, we'd do the same thing too. And you know, every opposition always a dear prime minister or a dear the government to call it. So they can't use that as the benchmark or nothing.
You don't think the PNP is anxious for the election?
Yeah, look here. It may appear like them anxious, but deep down, them know what them know. Them just have to put on a brave face.
What they're trying to do is to take every opportunity that they can to signal to their supporters that they are ready. Right?
But you're not, in true fact.
And it's just about updates. But go ahead.
I mean, it's party
world.
Yeah, go ahead.
So with the PNP getting more votes in the last local government election and winning the last two by-elections.
I'm here. We don't want you come up and come chat the foolishness.
Don't talk about the last election. Because
I'm here, but why you come up and come? No, but just a caution from now.
Amir,
the last two elections, you know, they talk
Why when
about
we
because
talk it turn out in a one chorus? Why?
no, man, it's okay, Amir, man, it's okay.
Amir, you ask a question. The last two general elections, the two by-elections, should be more worrying signs for the PNP, right?
Why I believe that after they were down by one and they received one while in opposition, and then the local government they receive more votes than the JLP.
So Amir,
Be cut in St. Thomas, bro.
Amir, let me ask you something. I'm want you to tell me now. Did the PNP win the parish council election?
I am not going to go into that, Carl Lewis.
No, man, you need to go into it. Did the PNP win the parish council election?
Not going. No, you are saying we are talking the fact that you are saying that. And so they always stay, and the party is going to make them supporters feel like they are going to win. So I'm saying
that's how it always be. Not care who in opposition. You can't be in opposition. What are the Amirs? You can't be in opposition and play dead and look like you're dead. You have to out there try for even when things are right, and you know within yourself say it's right. You can't make your supporter feel away.
But Carl Lewis, with the PNP gaining more 30,000 more votes than the JLP in less than a year and winning two by-election, one that they would have lost in the previous local government election. Don't you think that will drive some confidence in them?
Let's be realistic. Look here. Both of the seat, both of the parliamentary seat that them win belongs to them. The local government.
It is not parliamentary seat. I am talking about
the local government. Both of them.
Both divisions were PNP.
Both of the divisions was the PNP.
And the real life.
No, hold on there. For Carl Lewis, give me a
We're
card.
not going to allow Amir to come here and make back and forth with him and the real.
Man, because if you should check the numbers, Amir, you see that we have made significant grounds in both in and town and Marantby division.
Before you
even though we have lost them, those are stronghold PNP division. And your point now, where you said that you get 30 more thousand votes in the last election. Bear in fact that 100,000 JLP supporters didn't come out to vote in the last local government election.
Let me ask my comment.
Yes, but bro,
Amir.
I know I hear about that.
Yeah.
We'll go back for
Amir. Amirs?
Amir in yourself.
What is it that you're offering?
Our PNP come spin it and chat some foolishness. You realize that?
Listen, Carl Lewis. That is the reason why I can reason on both platforms and I can have a level mind, because I listen to labor rights and I listen to PNP. Even though I'm a PNP and I'm not going to vote for you, I listen to your views. I follow Andrew Holness. I follow Juliet Holness.
Exactly, that's so. We lost and Tom because we had one that I lost.
Amir, what is it that your party is offering Jamaica?
We didn't lose Marantby. We made grounds in Marantby.
Wait the scratch, I want to hear Amir's. Wait the scratch, I want to hear Amir's.
What are you offering Jamaicans that is presently not being offered to them by this government? What is it that is you're offering?
The party.
Call it, Andrew, call it. Call it for what? What you offering?
Yeah, we are offer with this government already offer.
Well, yeah, offer that this government, that will be in the where something there where them put out just before election.
That's a
manifest.
That
are too late.
In there.
The
manifest.
So we have to wait. We have to wait on the manifesto to know what you're offering.
But Amir, the audience that you guys are targeting don't read manifesto.
Yes.
Let's
what
do they read?
But Amir doesn't seem to know what he's voting for either.
Listen, what you are
because he's waiting for a manifesto to vote. Right? He's telling us that we need to wait until the PNP put forward their manifesto to vote. Amirs, a comrade, don't know where my vote for either. So there's a run behind party.
PNP supporters don't know what they're voting for.
You don't know what you're voting for, Amir, because if you're telling us, right,
Vote for slogans, man.
to wait until PNP put forward manifesto to vote, you don't know what is in that manifesto. You don't know if you're coming with a manifesto. You don't know what you're voting for.
All right, HR, give me a chance. What he's voting
let's Amir, come on. We're gonna give you a little bit more time. And you're speaking with over 100 people. What it is that the PNP, you said time come for what?
Listen, the PNP is campaigning on their track record of greatness. There are several things.
Never, take him down. Take down the track record of greatness.
You see why we have to take you over there in the program.
Take him down near, but
okay. You see why we have to take you enough time though.
Well, look here.
Take him down.
Amir, we're not talking about what you're
Give him a little bit more time.
Hold on. Track record is
One more thing. Let me say one more thing. You think the Jamaican people will vote on promises this time?
Promises. You've seen live with the government.
PNP promised them. I promised the PNP, I promised them.
No.
And I promise. They are not in government. So they promise.
Listen. Allow me to speak now, man.
Comrade.
Wait there. Let me say something first. Yeah, then you can continue.
You might go
in 2007, the JLP campaign and 18 years, what have the PNP done? Remember, it is 18 years. That's it is a new generation. And then they campaign on it in 2016. Yes. And there are things that Andrew promised that the people.
Go ahead.
Neighbor, I'm going to step down and you bring up Chuck. I'm going to step down.
On the thing, people are going to vote for any promises this year. No, they are not going to vote for it.
Amir,
my party not make promise. My party do.
Amir, all we can tell you, Amir, you are the PNP. Uno in for a surprise where I for the life never expect.
Amir.
I chance with Amir. Amir is that thing a while ago.
Chuck is here. Go ahead, Chuck.
First of all, you say your party are campaign.
Let's listen now.
Yeah, you say your party are campaign on the track record of greatness. Let us discuss our track record of greatness. Yours versus mine. Okay? I don't know if you want to discuss between 1972 and 1980, or between 1989 and 2007, or between 2012 and 2016. Which of those you want?
Because in truth and in fact, the JLP would have spent more time in government.
No, that's not what I asked. No, I mean, that's not what I asked. I said we are going to discuss our track record of greatness. I said, pick an era. Which one you want to go with?
Yes,
72 to 80,
all right,
80 to 89,
all right. Let us start from independent Jamaica, 1962.
1962. The Jamaica Labour Party had a track record of an 18.5% growing economy. 18.5%. Which period of PNP has they ever achieved that level of economic growth?
No, listen, you are going to list the JLP achievement and I am going to list the PNP achievement.
No, I don't think we need to list achievements, sir. I think we want to look at what it is that we are doing for the Jamaican people going forward. Amir, tell us what it is you're gonna do. That's what we want to do.
And as I said,
we don't want to hear about the manifesto, brother. You have an idea.
No, you can't ask a question and then decide how me answer it, neighbor. You need to speak, or you ask a question, you allow me to rebut, or you allow me to speak.
All right, neighbor, here are the guidelines. Here are the guidelines. We want to hear the plans, but we don't want to hear your plans. If you're gonna tell us of a plan that they have, you have to tell us where it was said by Mark Golden or somebody in charge. And where it is down somewhere. So what are the plans at the PNP?
If we are going to have guidelines, we both need to discuss the guideline. You don't come up and say
no problem. That is my only guidelines, sir.
JLP is something that fits your favor, fits your narrative.
No, but we both are gonna stick to the same guidelines. If I tell you something, I have to tell you where it is written now, where Andrew Holness say it.
All right. So as I said, 2025, there are things that the PNP said that they would have done that they haven't done, and there are things that Andrew Holness said he would have done that haven't done since today.
Like
and
what?
And go we
like
know
what? No, like what?
How much house he said did that offer, and by the time the timeline you know offer that much house.
Like what? Hold on. We could discuss housing first.
Yeah, me I give you two, and then you read
Hold on. I'm here. Let us discuss houses first.
If every time you attack, you go back in, you know, the conversation now go reach now.
No, but I don't want to put things out there and then we don't get to discuss them. So you say houses.
Yes,
so let us discuss houses.
You're going to get a chance. You're going to get a chance to talk. Okay, you just need to allow me.
No, I'm saying let us you say houses. Let us discuss
Take
the
them one
houses.
at a time now. Amir, take them one at a time.
Yes.
House first. You get the chance to lift the next. So house first.
Okay.
Go for house now. Good.
So you say you don't believe that Andrew Holness delivered the house when promised?
The amount of houses in the stipulated
How much house did he
time.
promise? How much house did he promise?
I may have the information in my next quote. But will you agree that the amount of house that he said he was going to give away in a stipulated time that they
are you talking about NHD houses? Are you talking about the Hope House? Are you talking about individual house? Which one are you talking?
The Hope housing. How much housing?
So the social housing. How many Hope houses did he promise to give away by when?
I have information in my next phone. So
Andrew Holness has never made a commitment. The only commitment Andrew made about Hope House is that we need at least 6,000 to affect the problem that we have. Okay?
Well, listen, Chuck, listen, if we are going to read, we have to go read Free and Balance because Jamaicans are listening to us.
I agree with you, sir.
Remember, Andrew Holness that in his first 100 days, he's going to issue term limits for Prime Minister. I think about 3,000 a year now. So, as I said...
He did not say the first 100 days. He did not say the first 100 days.
I agree with
you. He did not say the first 100 days.
What did he say?
Hold on. All right.
It was in our manifesto, but he didn't give a timeline.
Hold on, Scotchy, hold on.
He did. Neighbor, you so like you that did Andrew say that in the first 100 days he will issue term limit for Prime Minister? Did he say that,
neighbor, stop the money now.
That is me compared to what you have a foot.
Hold on the foot side. Please, no man. Foresight, please, no man.
Neighbor, me ask you a question. Did you hear that or did you not hear that?
But I'm not being given a chance to answer either.
Hold on. Let us bring it down. Amir, I've said it over and over. I don't like when you come on the platform and person asks you run. We're talking about house and you're gone 100 days. Truck, take him back to the house. You have to deal with the house first.
That's where I am at. We not get to term limit yet. No. Where did Andrew Holness promise a certain amount of social house? Tell me, where did he make that speech and tell you how much house he going to deliver by when? You said social house at that. Tell me where and when did he make that promise?
Amir, if it's at the bar, you hear it, you can just say that and move on.
I want to know, where did Andrew tell you how much of the social house he will deliver? Tell me when and where can I find that speech? Because I can tell you the discussion about the social house. So tell me where you say promise a certain amount of social house and he has not delivered it. So just tell me where and when did he make that promise?
Listen. Jamaica is listening to you. And Jamaicans know the truth. It don't make sense to come here, so the talk will win an argument.
I'm here.
Neighbor,
you say one of your growth with the Prime Minister is that he promised something them not deliver. But you need to. I'm here. You get to term limit, Virgin.
No, man, no one get to this first.
I use a house.
Amir, you say
house first. So make we deal with the house.
And then you talk about Jamaica.
So all right. Amir, you want to move on? Amir, you want to move on to the the term limit.
Yo, Chuck, we feel like
So
we're
you
going
acknowledge, first of all, just to acknowledge that you were wrong on the house issue.
Neighbor, at HR.
But look here. So may I start for that thing where we say we are going to get achievements, and then somebody come up with something else. It is argument. So when me I go ask,
I'm here. I am trying to follow your lead, but you're not steady. All right. I'm here. Hold on, guys. Amir, do me a favor. All right, tell me this, Amir. What is it you want to discuss? May I go with your lead? Tell me what you want to discuss.
All right. Earlier, Chuck asked what the PNP are for the people. It is my belief based on my
no, Amir, hold on, Amir. Tell me the topic where you want we discuss. Just that me want you tell me.
I got hear the topic. Why everybody have to talk one time and you have to talk? We just attack where we're coming from, so we can people who just come and can have a better understanding. So he believes promises now and tell what you plan to do and what you plan to do will not get Jamaica people.
Amir, you want to discuss election promises?
Amir, I don't think we're helping our listeners with this discussion.
Exactly.
I think we should end it.
We have to end right now. Most definitely not.
Let me say something about this third term, because this Amir is a classic PNP propagandist,
There you go.
That's how they argue. They muddy the water with things that are not relevant. Quite frankly, the PNP has to agree based on section 69-70 of the Constitution because it's a deeply entrenched matter, and therefore is the PNP interested in discussing term limits? If they are not, they should let this argument go on.
But first thing, hello neighbor, term limit is not in the Westminster system which we presently have. Term limit can only come once we move to a republic.
Correct.
So who is preventing that?
It's part of the constitutional arrangement and the reforms that need to happen. And quite frankly, it's a smoke screen to even bring this discussion in a defense, as if to say it is something that the Prime Minister has not done. So if you can't find anything that you want to put on the table that the PNP has done, then you come up with term limit. Nonsense.
Unemployment, right, was a big issue for the Jamaican people, but it was a big pain point. Crime was a big pain point. Now that we see unemployment down and crime down, we're going to say, vote against Andrew because he never fulfilling promise on term limit. Rubbish.
They're going to commit cost of living.
That's nonsense. Yeah, that's nonsense.
If we compare the reasons to vote for Andrew Holness is far outweigh those little term limit reasons that you have to vote against him.
I three things the man talk about, all the things
that you have a prime minister or a government that is reducing crime, reducing unemployment, right? Impose no new tax for 8 years on the Jamaican people. Pay public sector workers the highest salary increase, right, since independence. And you're going to tell me that, we're not going to vote for him because him did call election near COVID and him never fulfill.
While improving infrastructure.
Right. And him never fulfill an promise of implementing term limits.
Chuck and Forsyth. Let us look at another matter. The whole matter of who it is that the PNP has to replace those who are at the helm right now. So look at finance, for example. Julian Robinson.
No match for Nigel Clark or Favour Williams. No match.
No, Julian Robinson is no match for Favour or Nigel.
Right.
But the sad part enough was I don't think Julian Robinson will be the finance minister should the PMP. Should God forbid and the PMP. I don't think he will.
Stop gap.
He's just there was a stop gap.
So who would fill it then? Yeah, who is fit to fill it?
Bunting
team to it. And I'm glad you brought that up, neighbor, because it's not just about Mark going against Andrew Holness. Look at the PNP.
So Natalie Nita Garvey for local government and community development.
No match to this, man.
Brownberg, Andrew Brownberg, Tita Lou.
Nita Garvey a cheerleader.
Mr. Foreign Affairs, I can't believe
No much to this, man. Nita Lel is not, she cannot be our foreign affairs. She cannot meet overseas leaders.
Wait,
Minister of
Nita Garvey,
Entertainment and Culture.
Nita Garvey and Dennis Daly are cheerleaders.
Cheerleaders,
Right.
mere cheerleaders.
Who's going to
bro.
replace a Bobby the Grange? And a Edmund Bartlett?
Yes.
They're gonna say Wickham.
So then the team has to be looked at, eh?
Yes.
And,
Who's
and
going
the,
to
and the
replace
experienced team.
a Christopher Tufton?
Yes.
Dawes is the medical doctor and he's no match for Christoph then.
Yes. We're gonna send Damian Crawford up to the Ministry of Education, sir.
Be that way? No.
No?
No,
And Andrew
definitely
Brownberg,
not.
Minister of Foreign
Definitely not.
Affairs.
Just give me a minute on that one. Give me a minute on that one. To be honest with your neighbor, I would want you to take back that one because personally, every time Damien go on a stage, I've only seen people leave confused and don't know themselves. And based on the type of student we have today in school, you really want them come out like a mad people and don't have no head? A man with no-
Damien has played out himself.
Yeah. There's no way
Played
we could
himself
put
right out to the
there's
ground.
no way we could put him in control of a ministry of education.
Neighbor, I would love for you to invite. There's a guy in the chat, Mark. Mark is also a comrade, but I believe he's a very confused Labourite. But I would love you. Mark says
So
a comrade,
Mark is a
but
comrade
he's
through
a
and
confused
through, you know.
Labourite.
Mark is a comrade through and through. No confusion there. I don't believe so.
I get you. But I confused Labourite, man. I think Mark is one of them people where Trump is against. Him is a Labourite chopping our PMP community. So him know better.
I think Damian Crawford will just resign and go and raise goat, you know. I better after so.
No, he played out for himself, man. He lost the confidence of the nation totally.
As to Damian, here's my honest assessment of Damian Crawford. Damian Crawford have a lot he could have offered. But I think in order to pander to the PMP, him water down himself.
Too much gimmick.
Yes, him water down himself and sell himself cheap.
Yes, too much gimmick.
Very my honest assessment of him.
Too much take him serious again. Me not take Damian Crawford serious again.
I don't either foresight. I don't. He's a gimmick to me right now fully.
He's a minister of goat right now.
When he come to these rallies and press conferences, he just come to give joke.
Yeah, him a the hype man for the conference.
Yeah, no, he just come to give joke.
And anything else, yeah.
Right. You know, one of the things.
Good day, everyone.
I noticed in Jamaica that the media and civil society tend to be silent as it relates to the number of issues of nepotism that seem to be happening in some quarters.
And cronyism.
Why is that so?
It's simple.
The loyalty.
We have not been hearing the outcries.
You're batting for the PNP, it's simple.
I mean, if you go through every single, if we should go through majority of these civil society groups, you will see that the head, if not the head, are some members were in some part or some time ago a part of the PNP organization. So we can't have persons like those who are compromised coming out and trying to be of some form of integrity. It just can't work.
Yes. How are we going to Chuck? How are we going to broaden this vehicle? How are we going to broaden the base of the Labour Party to bring up our numbers to 700,000 people voting? Can we do it? Can we really broaden this base going forward? And somebody suggesting that the masses are tuned out. What can we do?
I think we can broaden the base, but here's how we have to broaden the base. We can, if the Prime Minister continue and the government continue to put in the work and to show the result, but it's just a matter of letting the people see that the results are there, that, hey, this is not a government of promise. This is a government of action.
And Chuck, And Chuck, you don't think that we would have done enough to convince those people already?
We have done way more than enough. The problem is that the good things are not making the Gleaner front page or the Observer front page or the TVJ News. The good things are not making that. The good
Like
things
what?
are only on social media, you will find it. And that is part of the drawback we face.
That's true.
Tell us about those good things, Chuck. What are those good things that you think should be on the headlines?
The main one, the addition of 150,000 jobs.
Yes.
The social house program.
Yes.
The $5 billion the $5 billion in scholarships. The freeness at the heart just NTA. Listen, all those things should be plastered up on the front page and people know that these things are there for them. An associate degree free of cost that you can achieve at heart. All these things should be out there. An unemployment rate of 3.5%. That those things are history in the making. 4 hospitals under construction. Those things are history in the making.
Do you think that 150,000 persons include PNP supporters who have gotten jobs?
Of course.
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah.
Most
It's not
definitely.
discriminatory.
So
They'll never walk and pick out the JLP supporters.
Most definitely.
There's no system to walk and pick out who are JLP supporters.
Yes.
That's not a part.
Yeah,
that's
that's how governance works. Yeah, governance is not like that.
Listen,
Right.
You see, we don't have an impartial media, right? So every media house now in Jamaica is aligned somewhere with something. Yes. Now, the reason why the achievement of the government must be on the front page, I think, is because for all our independent history, we have been struggling with debt, we have been struggling with crime, we have been struggling with unemployment, we have been struggling with a whole litany of issues. So when you have a government now, an administration who got 2 terms, the people gave the Labour government two mandates, resounding mandates, yes? And they use those 2 mandates to address all of those lingering issues that we have been having for all our independent history. So low crime, the administration addressed it, right? The unemployment issues, we addressed it. The economic issues, we addressed it. When you have an administration that has brought the sovereign debt to 70% of our GDP, that is something worth highlighting.
Explain to our listeners, Chuck. It is HR. What does 70% of GDP means? And do you have the figures for where we are coming from? This
142, coming from 142%.
Huh?
We're coming from 142%.
But what does that mean? When you say 142%, what does that mean, and how does that?
I mean, in layman terms, we could put it as to say that when we say now GDP is 142%, or at 70% right now. Say for example, every dollar that the Jamaican economy earned, we were supposed to pay 100 and for $1.42 back out of every dollar that we earn. Now that it's gone down to 70, we are now paying say 70% back of every dollar that we earn. So we have hence the reason for having a surplus since the last couple of budgets. First in our history, the other day that we had a surplus.
What steps?
Before you move on, neighbor, there is one important point to point out with what you guys just point out. Look at the budget now, right? Look at the budget now, where they are spending a little less on security, a little less on health, a little less on education, right? They are not considering, as far as we see, to raise any more tax. They have not increased the expenditure of the country, because right now they're saying that the government should be spending $3 trillion. It should carry the budget to $2 trillion, but we are still at the $2 trillion. what the Prime Minister said yesterday is that because of the grounds that they have made in controlling the debt, the GDP, control the GDP, bring it down, right? We are able now to balance the book in a way that we don't have to spend a lot of money. And
Yes,
what
because
you
we're
call
spending
it,
less now to service the debt.
right,
Yes,
we're
sir.
spending less to service the debt now, so we don't have to spend a lot on crime and thing because they have what they need to kind of get them going, right? The technology and all of that. We have now building hospitals, so we don't have to put more into the budget to build hospital because the clinic have taken care of, hospital have taken care of, police station have taken care of. Agriculture is back on track, so we don't have to spend a lot of that. Education, a lot of schools have refurbished and all of that. So this is what, when you bring down the GDP, it does to your country. You understand? And so now we are
Maybe
in,
that bring
yeah,
down the GDP, bring down the debt to
Yes,
the
GDP.
debt, the debt,
yes,
the
sir.
debt to GDP,
Yes,
right?
Chuck.
To bring it,
And
bring it
Dimi,
closer to home.
Isn't this Chuck the single greatest achievement of the government? Wouldn't you say that
It is.
in 20
It is.
in 2016, you know, the debt was 122.6% of GDP. I know Scratchy explained that. But what
yeah, I
that
mean, when you're looking at the bring it down the GDP also helps with FID.
Scratchy, wait there. I want to
Okay.
get
it was 122.6, which means that all the monies that the government collects from taxes,
grants and yes, revenue.
was not sufficient to pay the debt.
Right.
So
Exactly.
you had to borrow 22% more just to pay the debt.
Exactly.
No, you wonder now, how did the government pay salary and do everything else? It still had to borrow.
Yes,
So
they can't buy your way to growth, never.
right. And
To
so
bring it closer to home, so that the common man can understand. Put yourself in the position of the government. It's like you're a working man, you got work, but you have a high debt. You have this high debt to pay. It means that when your shoes smash up, you can't pay, you can't buy one. You want to change your wardrobe, you can't change it. You want you're sick, you can't go to the hospital because the funds. So you put yourself in the context of the government, and because what the government is going through now as it relates to debt and debt servicing and managing debt is no different from the common man who has debt. You understand? So the debt to GDP that this administration was wise enough and steadfast enough to bring down, to manage properly. Yes?
And
It's the reason
HR,
why
not to cut
it
you.
affects every single thing.
Yeah, and not to cut the HR, it also helps with foreign direct investment. And the reason we're seeing now 5 new hotels being constructed this financial year.
Yes, sir.
These are the type of stuff that investors use these as markers to know if they should invest in an economy or not.
And therefore everything hinges.
Hold on, neighbor, there's a gentleman there, 19 girls. It means that 100% labor, but he want to give an input.
Yeah, but yeah, before he comes on, because I think if you don't understand where we are as a country and why it is that people ought to be supporting the government, it is that what the government has done in managing the economy, I think, is the single greatest achievement of the government.
I agree,
because
sir. Yes.
everything else hinges on your ability to pay for it. So
Yes.
those people who want salary increases, those people who want minimum wage to increase, those people who talk about bad road, those people who talk about hospitals and this and that and this and that, understand that if we don't have the resources to pay for it, it cannot be done.
Neighbor, when we have an opposition party neighbor who is complaining that the government is paying down the debt too fast, that alone show you that the government is in good stance.
Well, I hear Julian Robinson saying that if the PNP should win, the PNP is promising to maintain economic stability. The PNP,
yeah, they're complaining that we're paying down the debt too
Michael Manley
fast.
promised that in 1989 also.
Yes.
That Michael Manley in 1989 wrote that he would continue all the programs of Edward Philip George Siaga.
They can't maintain
That
it.
was one of the promise he made in 1989. Yeah, man, you can add 19 Gail. I want to hear him, but let me say this. Guys.
how did we do it without adding taxes, Chuck? How did we do it without adding adding taxes. That is just, sir.
All right. Let me give you a scenario. I gave somebody this scenario one day last week and they were lost to it. Neighbor, if you're running a shop, you buy 1 bag of flour to sell. And you sell that bag of flour for $2 a pound. And you have 10 people come at your shop every week, come buy 1 pound of flour. How much money you make?
20. Say that again. I was a little distracted. 10
somebody come at your shop, come buy 1 pound of flour, $2 a pound. That's what you sell every week. How much money you make?
Well, that 10 times 2, not 20.
20. You don't make $20 every week. And you sell the flour for $2 a pound. But what if you do something? What if you do something 1 week and you get 40 somebody to come buy that 1 pound of flour? How much money you make?
You will 80?
That make $80. And you would have made that $80 without raising the cost of your flour, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Yes.
So you simply generated more activities at your business.
Exactly. Simply put, neighbor.
So when the government won in 2016, our unemployment rate was 13.5%.
How much people is that in terms of the numbers? Because when you say 13.5%, a lot of people may not even understand. About how much people that?
I think our entire workforce is what? I think it's
1.3 million.
What? Yeah, I think no. 1.3 we have somewhere around there. So.
Yeah, man, but 1.1, 1.2, and then I reach on the 1.3 million. The entire workforce.
Right. Neighbor, simply put, it's just by having more people paying tax rather than have people paying more tax.
You generate more economic activities. You get more people to work. You get more people to spend.
Can I add to it, Chuck?
Go ahead. I don't want to say one thing and then
when
you can just say the one thing, Churchill.
When the government
just one thing, and then you come. Just one thing. Just add this to it, guys. Accountability.
Very good.
Accountability. But go ahead, Churchill.
Very good, Demi.
You are suggesting, you are suggesting that corruption may have been part of the challenge, Demi?
Yes.
Yeah, man, that contributes to it. When you
overrun projects and stuff like that, we're used to.
Churchill wanted to say something before.
Yeah, but Churchill, how do you move your debt from 137.93 in 2012 to below 73% without raising taxes? How do you do that?
Well, I was going to make the point that when they increase the threshold, they leave more money in our pockets to spend. And that's where Chuck was going with that. So people have more disposable income to spend. And by spending more money, it
generates economic activity.
Increased economic activity. And so when that's gonna bring in more indirect tax to the government coffers. Right? The point that Demi raises is that it's evidence that something was going on in government, why they had to raise tax all the while and freeze wages and couldn't get anything done for the economy, to grow the economy. You and I can guess what that is, but something was afoul. Why? They're freezing wage, they're borrowing money, and they still can't get any domestic programs done.
Because they wasn't growing the economy. And they wasn't putting people to work, which is what Chuck has said.
But
when
the
you
point,
put more people to work, you
the
can
point
get more
is,
income
hold
tax.
on the foresight. I guess we're implying that more than that was going on, because the money, they were raising taxes, they're freezing wages, and they're borrowing money. So what happened?
Every single project under the past government was overrun in terms of budgetary and voting time. That was also a big contributing factor.
No man, guy, you're not missing what neighbor was asking. Neighbor is asking, how was this government able to do it?
I know how they did it. You know, I just want the listeners, the 121 people online.
The government was able to generate economic activities. As Forsyth said, when you raise the tax threshold, you put more money in a people pocket to spend, then go to the shop, then can go to a restaurant, then can do all those things that takes money. So if you leave money in a people pocket, they will spend it. If you send people to work, they will spend their salary.
Disposable income.
Disposable income will attract more conscience on that.
So, but I don't know that the government has got the credit. Isn't Nigel Clark? Wasn't Nigel Clark?
Nigel Clark, when he was with us on different occasions, said that it is not the policy of the Labour Party and the Labour government to spend the money for the people. Give the money to the people and watch them spend it. And it comes right back into when they spend it into the economy, it automatically comes back in government coffers. So that's a position that the government has taken to widen the tax, but let me not say widen, but give the people the money to spend and then improve how taxes are collected.
Yes, and TJ, and there are a couple of changes to in the whole TAJ process.
I see Ingram asks a question in the chat that I would like to answer. Ingram says, when before in Jamaica won billions and accounted for? Between 1993 and 2007. And all of it go in a DB and G account.
No. There's some misnomer to this. What them call unaccounted for money. It's not that the money.
Churchill. Leave it alone, Churchill.
Yeah, but we know the truth. We know the truth. Pastor heard it already.
Churchill, don't even dignify that to the response. Leave it alone. Don't continue. Dignify to the responance.
Yeah, Pastor already.
So 40 billion. Listen to me. You know, I drove to I went to Mandeville this week. But let me tell you something, guys. This road patching that is happening in Jamaica, you know, this 40 billion. You remember 2003 Jamaica would be pothole free?
Yes, I remember that brazen promise. I remember that brazen promise, pothole free by 2003.
22 years after, we just get into there, you know.
But neighbor, listen, I think it's when we discuss the roads in Jamaica, we are missing, we are skipping over a period. You remember between 2017 and 2018, when the term carpet was coined in Jamaica, that was described our road.
Yes.
Carpet, everywhere you go, carpet.
Carpet, yeah, I remember carpet.
You remember that Jamaica ran out of asphalt? We didn't have any asphalt material in Jamaica because of the amount of roads that were being fixed?
Yes.
All right. We went through that period. Then after that now, we were hit by COVID for 3 years basically, where all of those roads, all of those progress basically got stuck up because of COVID. Revenue slowed down. The world basically locked down. Right? So that momentum when they come to fixing our road got slowed. I basically get cut off because, you know, as we said, the world basically shut down, so the government have to prioritize what was important. Mainly, lots of social projects during that time. So we get back to a period where over the last 7 years, the road again got deteriorated. Right? So 2 years ago or 3 years ago, the government announced the Spark program that would have adjusted. But because this is a responsible government, it was not just tossed in. It was properly planned. It was properly organized and executed before we are going to start.
So you have the REACH program and you have the Sparks program.
You have REACH and Spark.
Tell us the difference between those two.
Sparks program is the community roads. The roads in your community.
Roads that run past your gate.
How much money are we spending in REACH?
$42 billion. No, $42 billion is for Spark, and the REACH program is $5 billion.
45 billion for Spark.
No, he's saying
47 for Sparks.
Scratchy, he's saying 47.
45.
47 in total.
No, 45 for Sparks.
and 5 for each.
40 for no 40 billion for in smart, it's 40 billion for roads and 5 billion on water lines.
42 scratchy, 42 billion for the Sparks program.
And yeah, because couple billion, 2 billion on lines, water lines.
And 40
Guys,
and 5
excuse
billion
me.
dollar for the rich.
Excuse me.
So the rich program is for
okay.
main roads.
And yes, and the reach program is more of a patching program.
Program for main roads.
Yeah,
so
patching program.
And Chuck, this 40 billion is 3, 6, 9, 10 zeros, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, over two budget
and you're
cycles.
saying this $40 billion is coming out of the government's budget? Not
borrow, no borrow money.
Dollars, not a loan,
We have
not
$40
a grant.
billion to spend on the road, sir.
Not a loan or a grant. Our money.
Yes, sir.
Rockstone.
That's the proper management of our affairs allows us to do.
The finance minister will be has tabled a 1-point-something trillion budget. So yes, it is possible.
Right, it is possible to manage your affair. Listen, you realize that at the end of March, our debt to GDP would go down to 68%. The end of this March coming, February, March, our debt to GDP will be 68%.
And of that 40 billion neighbor, notwithstanding, remember that 200 billion of we have to borrow money to pay. We have to borrow money to pay salaries in the 90s.
They wanted to fix a road, they have to go for a loan. If they want to give us a public sector increase, they have to go for a loan.
Exactly.
That's how bad they have it, right? So it is amazing when we come to a point now where the government can undertake so much capital projects on its own. Neighbor, did you know that only one project going on in Jamaica now that is being funded by a loan?
Which one is that?
That is the road in St. Thomas.
Wow.
Montego Bay Road is being funded with local dollar.
And Chuck, that road in St. Thomas, under the PNP design, it was supposed to be a toll road,
Yeah, but how could you toll the people of St. Thomas? One of the most
important. And decide that he's not going to put the toll in it,
Oh yeah, so remember them told the people at Portmore, them take what
I could understand Portmore, but St. Thomas, remember them told St. Thomas in the forgotten parish. Why would you put a toll road to go to St. Thomas when you had no activity going on in St. Thomas for people to earn money?
That's the PNP for you, Chuck.
A part of that road was supposed to be a toll road, and it's the government of Jamaica right now who decide no, we cannot put toll here, so.
Chuck, so the PNP just only give you sweet word and sour policies.
So
you know the PNP, right? Only talk here, but no one deliver it. Right?
The only time the PNP remember the word poor is when they're in opposition.
Exactly.
It's we have to highlight the difference, the economic policy, the difference between the JLP and the PNP, where the PNP believes them have to tax the people to pay the government's bill, while Jamaica Labour Party believes you have to free up the people, make them have more money to spend, and that will generate more income for the government. And that's the main difference between the two parties.
But you know what is interesting, and maybe neighbor could help echo this question, right? What is interesting, is that a lot of people, the perception is the other way around. For a lot of people, because of how the PNP present themselves as being the party for the poor.
So because
even though you have the JLP that do more for the poor, you still have a lot of people who believe that PNP, right, is the party that does more for the poor.
Yeah,
But let me
because
ask a
DB,
question. I have a very important question I want to ask, and I don't know who can pick it up. But because hear you talking about toll road to St. Thomas, and I hear some of them say the toll road would end out in Portland. So everybody on the panel, think about the question and see the best answer you can give. Does a toll road, meaning a toll highway, run through a commercial city?
no,
That question, I don't think I understand.
I
Guys,
don't understand you say.
we have to connect something here though, because there is a view that okay, you have $47 billion to spend in infrastructure, and other people will say, why not give the people that money? Why not use that money to generate, to put into social programs so that people can survive a little bit? How you respond to that?
But Neville, road is a social program.
Yes.
There's no bigger social program in Jamaica than the roads.
True.
Right?
Yes.
But the problem why you might hear that in the neighbor is that we have an opposition that tells you that unless it put food in your belly, important. So most people, or should I say most PMP supporters, won't see the value of a new road. They don't realize that the new road make the food delivery if you go to your shop easier. Right? They don't realize that the new road make the ambulance or the police can get to you easier. Right? So they don't see the value added in a new road. Right? But there is no bigger social program the government run than a road. The road is a social program. The roads repair create jobs. The same person that works on the roadside, them go buy 2 pound of chicken later at the corner shop. The corner shop man earn a little bit more money, can go buy 2 more bags at the wholesale. The wholesale can add a couple more bags from the factory.
Talk to us again now about the educational opportunities that are available to Jamaicans, because I think that in this opportunity economy, education and access is where I think the government is positioning Jamaicans to move them from poverty to prosperity. What about the educational opportunities that are available to Jamaicans? And because access is very important, access to education, what are the programs that the government has that is providing these access?
I mean,
What?
I mean, the government has a lot of program in place, neighbor. Yeah, I mean, if we're going to look from when the government started from 2016 until now, we have seen where 2016 the education budget was around 90 billion. We have now seen that the government is about 160 billion now, I think.
The education budget is $160 billion.
Right now, coming from 90 billion when we first take office. So we have seen where the government has increased its presence, increased funding towards the education ministry. We have seen where the government has totally revamped art. Right now, art is getting applications more than ever in the history of art programs of art. Art has also introduced more programs. Art is just not limited to just welding, mechanic, those usual skills that we are normally used to. Art is now we're in a whole different structure when it comes towards the art program. And I think young persons need
a better approach, Scratchy. Isn't it a better approach to invest in educating your people, training your people, rather than giving them things?
Neighbor, you said about access to education. The government has opened the doors of our education institution. Firstly, when the government removed the guarantor to get you a student loan to attend a tertiary institution, that was opening the door. Then the government also realized that not everybody is gonna be able to attend a tertiary institution.
The ones that they gave.
So we make Hard Trust NTA free for you to access. If you a skill free of charge, you can get up to what is equal to an associate degree.
an associate degree, yeah.
Free of charge going to Hard. Now that is not enough, so they move forward. Heart now we are gonna start introducing the heart program from the high school level, right? So no one will leave high school without a skill. That is where we are going. So the heart programs are gonna be introduced at the high school level now.
Are Jamaicans making use of these opportunities?
I don't think enough of them are, and that is where the problem lies. So it's not about access to it, it's about people who are willing to take advantage of it.
Right. There's no issue with access, neighbor, because as a young person, any young person right now, you can go as far as the talents can take you. There's nothing that is preventing
sky's the limit right now
from advancing educationally.
Why we don't mash down this nonsense about time comes? I mean, what time? This if you are saying to me, every Jamaican can access education up to the tertiary level, then time comes is what?
Neighbor, just last year alone, and this is the first in our history, the Ministry of Health alone gave 617 young people scholarship to attend tertiary institution to study public health. And all of those persons are bonded to Jamaica for the next 10 years after they have graduated.
No, Alice is saying that some people don't. Do you think that the Jamaican population, the majority of Jamaicans, know, they are aware that these opportunities are available?
Neighbor, that is why I tell you about the responsibility of our media. Right? Because these things are not highlighted. Let me give you an example of something. Just last year, I told you the government went into 2 different constituencies and handed over nearly 40 houses. They've assessed and have formulated a new vision on how to rebuild our inner city. And the first phase of that rebuilding took place a couple of weeks ago when the government handed over some of the model homes that we are gonna have. So we are gonna tear down all of the zinc fence and build these kind of apartment-looking structure, very well built, and hand them over. Now, do you know how the government had to get that into the gleaner?
It took out an ad?
They took out an ad.
But maybe
they took out an ad. They had to take out an ad to get it into the paper. Because the media did not see that as something that should be highlighted. But I guarantee you, if Andrew Holness buy the wrong brand-titled paper, that's gonna be front page story. So the media now is part of what is holding back.
The media and the opposition, part of the problem.
Don't you think that the party though and ourselves, people like ourselves who do these programs, that we have a responsibility?
Yes, neighbor, because I personally believe that art and those institutions, I think they can do much better in terms of how they market. They have to rely on traditional media.
What about
we have social media right now, which is spreading like wildfire. But I don't think that these guys rely upon Jamaica Information Service, Jamaica Arm for Information. But a lot of persons do not watch JIS, if it should be realistic. Because when I watch JIS, I see these programs on it, but a lot of persons are not watching JIS. JIS need to more of a social media presence. These institutions, they need to change the way how they market and stuff like that.
I kind of feel like
still stuck in the traditional media too much.
What more can the government do? You know, when I look at the Jamaican economy, you see, I see where when the economy grows, the people at the top benefit a lot. How is it, therefore, that you are going to allow the economy to benefit the marginalized, those who are at the bottom? And I see, without even looking at it, that the government, through policy, says, educate the people. If you're going to grow the economy, if you're going to create opportunities in the economy, then you have to train and educate the people. And I see as a deliberate strategy of the government that they want to put money into educating people so that the people can make use of the opportunities that are in the economy. The Jamaicans who are talking nonsense about Nangwan need to understand
they don't want nothing.
That they need to get out of this mindset of wanting somebody to carry something come give them and go to school, rejoin a training institution, get yours. I think that the government has a program where they give a stipend to some persons who...
Yes.
Neighbor, you have to understand also, neighbor, that what the government is doing, you're correct in saying that it is a deliberate strategy. You're correct. What this government is doing, it is rebuilding or building Jamaica. Let me liken Jamaica to a house. So what the government is doing now is laying the foundation, right? So the government has freed up SLB and has made free up access to heart. So if heart is your thing, if heart is your cup of tea, you can go there and get your skill and upskill or get a skill. If university is your thing, you can go. There are no barriers that are preventing you. So the government is building the economy to say, okay, get yourself properly trained so that when the economy, the next stage of the economy comes in, you are poised to partake in it. So you're correct, it's a deliberate strategy.
And I don't see any other pathway, sir. There can be no other pathway. And at the same time, you are developing your infrastructure, like the roads, like the hospitals, so that these people now have greater access to work, greater access to health care. There appears to be a comprehensive vision for Jamaica. Isn't that so?
Yes,
most definitely.
But neighbor, we have to agree that there's a faction in the Jamaican society that they just don't care about getting themselves upskilled. Jamaica is not a politically savvy people. We are not politically savvy at all. We don't vote on issues. We vote on personality and noise. And that's a problem. That's a problem. That's a deficiency in us as a people when it comes on politically. So you have a faction among us that just don't care. Even if you put the classroom at their bedroom door, they will not walk in it.
True.
They will not walk in it.
Yes.
What we have is a problem. The problem we have now is not about what is happening. It's about getting people to understand what is happening and making the link between what is happening and how they can benefit from what is happening. Right? A lot of persons are not able to do that, and you find that a lot of things are happening around people, and they don't even, as Richard Gore said, they don't care to know. Because worse than not knowing, is when you don't care to know, right? So I'm gonna just come on the corners and just say, not go on, and just go down. And that become the basis on which inform his opinion.
But what does that mean?
It's not about
what does that mean?
Trying to know for himself, Yeah.
Now go on. In what context is that placed? What is that? How is that to be interpreted?
Because you will have a construction worker who goes to a site every day, right? But at the same time, he's going to tell you that the building that he is working on only benefit the rich man. He doesn't make the connection between the job that he has, right, and the opportunity, right, that comes from it to create a job for him. He doesn't make that connection.
And this qualification, because sometimes that's all they worry about, the salary. So it's a qualification, your salary much a qualification.
Exactly.
So if you're not skilled, you're not expected to get a skilled man's salary. So who are you going to blame for that?
People complain about things and don't even realize when what they're complaining about has been delivered, right? So
I hope that as part of the strategy of the party as it crafts its election campaign, that it is going to connect the dots. Because in terms of policy, I don't know that there are much more in terms of policy prescriptions that needs to come out at this time.
I mean, neighbor, I had the opportunity to be a part of a program where I introduced in my community through heart and a social organization by the name of Citizen Security and Justice. It's no longer around now. I mean, in our community, we had like 85 persons who were doing electrician and cosmetology. What we found out in that project was that for those persons who came outside of the community, they were getting at least $1,000 a day, 4 days a week, just to come to the program, The program, the persons weren't coming out despite still getting the $1,000 a week a day. What we had to do was meet with the administrators and see, okay, then see how best you can find an institution close by the community where these persons can go. Because what we find is that these persons, like, they didn't want to leave the community.
Yes.
Due to other frictions or stuff that might be going on. So sometimes I feel like we have to come out the office and come on the corner sometime, yeah, man. If the government want good to get because I believe it's better to be skilled and do have nothing to do more than have a skill, more than do have a skill none at all and still have nothing to do.
Yes.
So we have to find.
That's part of the problem, neighbor. That's part of the problem.
I think relying on the people to find the information rather than bringing the information to the people. These people have to be spoon-fed.
So, for example, I learned foresight that there are still many rural areas that struggle with internet connectivity, and so those persons probably would be a little behind in terms of the information. Kingston and St. Catherine is not Jamaica, what about the role of the members of parliament in promoting policies of the government?
The councillors, the MPs are the ones on the ground who are supposed to be delivering the message to the people, right?
Yes.
Talking about the social programs and all these offers, but there's a disconnect there. I mean, I think most of them are just probably interested in the idea of being a councillor, more title than actually performance and the work that is necessary to.
Neighbor, I believe this one of the things I think the government or this government should do in the next term is to mandate that every single member of parliament have to have at least 2 meetings
exactly
with their constituents every month.
Weren't those consultations to happen for the Sparks program?
Yes,
consultation
program was a consultation driven program.
Yes, but you're saying that the government needs to make it part of its policy that members of parliament must have meetings.
Meetings at least 2 meetings a month.
Exactly.
And these meetings should
remember, just as you said that St. Catherine and St. Andrew is not Jamaica.
Yes.
Social media is also not Jamaica.
Yes.
Believe it or not, there are Jamaicans that don't know what is happening on social media until something sent to them phone. And just like how you can send good information, you can send bad information too. But if you have a link that say every second Sunday, my member of parliament that come and we are going to discuss some things, we are going to say we want the road fix, and even somebody tell we are going to go to the meeting, go cuss him, But at least we know which party in them can give us up to date. So I believe that stuff like things like that will totally assist our democratic process.
What about the Labour Party?
Chuck, in my constituency,
branches structure where the groups within the party would what about G2K, the Young Jamaica? Aren't these groups active and should be bringing the party's message to communities?
Yes, and I think they are. But I think the focus as we are talking now, Jamaica is bigger than just Kingston and St. Andrew and St. Catherine. I think the focus needs to be pushed more rurally. We need some serious information in the rural side of the country. But I think G2K, yes, they try their best. Again, I mean, marketing come with funding, and it's a big funding project to market. So to get the government message out there, it's a lot of different factors. It's not just one. The information is there, but it's if you are ready to take up the information.
That is also a misconception that we have. We believe, say, if we were to mandate 2 meetings a month from our member of parliament, it's gonna come at a massive budget.
And
No,
I
not
totally
the
disagree
meeting with
with
the
that.
member of parliament. Not the meeting with the member of parliament. I'm saying if we're gonna to spread the message, we have to create flyers, we have to create round the clock flyers, banners, billboards, stuff like that. Those are the things that just like if you're keeping a party, you put up the biggest billboard on the highway right there. So we have to find unique ways to create these methods.
This is what I want.
Government probably. Well, let me just say something. You see, there are sometimes easier ways of getting things done, you know, because one of the ways to get the information in the community have key persons, they have role models in this community, you have church leaders, you have a teacher who people look up to. Get the information to these people, right? And have them spread the information throughout the community. And that is why I agree with Chuck 100% that you should have it. You should have meetings in these constituencies. Every MP, right? They should make it mandatory that every MP at least meet 2 times a month with the constituents, right? So that, you know, and not only to meet, but give maybe a progress report as well.
Exactly.
Right?
But that's what the meetings will do, foresight.
Right. With what you would have done in the constituency, right? What you have done, right? What you plan to do, right? And yeah, what you have done and what you plan to do. So
all right, foresight. I've seen I've seen a couple of members of parliament. Now I say I notice go but that says people are demonstrating that they need a road fix that is slated to be fixed under this park. Now, what that tells me is that even though as a member of parliament you would have gotten the approval to say this road is gonna be fixed, you have not returned to the people and say, okay, with this goes this road and it's gonna be fixed, it's gonna start at X time and wait. So that information don't go back. Yeah, I know that most of these demonstrations you see now are just malicious.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
But if you had gone back and had broadcast the high and low, say, yes, me get the approval for this road, and this road I got fast fix the 10th of March, so just bear with me until it would have neutralized that malicious demonstration.
I'll just talk about getting information out. I think there should be more print media. I think the government can get all its information print, whether weekly or bi-weekly or monthly.
Yeah, even brochures in schools and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Spread the message.
Drop them off.
Brochure will have to be short though.
Drop them off at the clinics, the rum bars, the supermarkets, all over the places where people are go. So who want to get the information will get it. Sometimes
I have a very nice young lady that attends university. Remember, university neighbor, university, you know, not high school, university. She go. And she said her professor in the university was telling her that when the government is fixing the urban center in St. Thomas, it is a waste, you know, because St. Thomas is gonna be overdeveloped. That is where the professor is trying to say, you know. Now that is a PMP professor trying to push the negative propaganda on them. So you're right, the PMP are using even the taxi driver to tell you, say, boy, the road that want me a drive on, they should not fix it, you know.
Yes.
Neighbor, you might laugh, you know. But it's really, you know, the PMP will get you to tell you, say, even though me give you a house, me shouldn't give you.
Like how
you get people to go against their best
social housing
interest.
became a controversy a couple of weeks ago. There was a suggestion that those who get it, they don't really own it. Eh?
Neighbor, even the Prime Minister has attest to the fact that the information is not going out in the most accurate of way.
I think there should be a massive public.
So I know that it is also on the mind of the Prime Minister because he has talked about it more than once.
I think the party needs to
yes,
launch.
I mean, I think that targeting the middle to upper class, I think that we have engaged that group enough. That group is aware. That group understand and see and know what is going on.
Neighbor.
Coming down now to the little
tax
smaller
done.
persons, I feel that is where we are having a problem attracting those
I
persons.
want to go down. I want to go down the election strategy. I think that the party.
Neighbor,
Yes.
1 minute. You can add facts done for me,
I've
please.
added in.
Neighbor,
And neighbor, you have to add me as a moderator so I can help you.
Okay. All right. Let me.
You know how to do that?
Tell me.
Click on my box and you will see 3 dots. Click on that. You scroll down and it will say add moderator. Then you scroll straight down to the bottom and it will say, you will click everything, ensure that it is on green. And the last one down by the bottom, it will say manage guest.
You have given me too much information.
Okay,
I'll figure it out soon. You hear?
Information is very important, neighbor.
Scratchy. I think the party should launch a massive public before it calls the election. A massive public relations campaign.
I agree.
On its performance.
They have to. They have to. It's inevitable.
And what it is doing. Don't make it election related. Just spend some money and tell Jamaicans everywhere. And I think they should employ some people too to go into every nook and cranny.
That's a must. That has to be on their agenda. I think that's on their agenda.
The problem with the grassroots, though, and not politicizing it, is that sometimes even when they get the benefits and they become aware of it, they don't give the government credit. They don't make the link.
Here what?
They don't link it to the government. You understand?
You're saying we should make this election campaign, but I think it should be a thing they do right through the year where people get information as to what's going on in the country, because we cannot rely on our traditional media.
I have not seen my MP from Shawan. I live in Orange Bay. Sorry.
Yeah, so that, information can get out to people. If there's a project coming, people should know about it. There is scheduled to be like 6 new hotels built for Jamaica starting, I think, after April.
This financial year, yeah.
Yeah. These are private investments, of course, but the fact is, it's going to create 10,000 new jobs.
Yeah.
And they're expecting for this year, what is it now? 5 billion earnings.
1 minute, Churchill. So neighbor, you have to go back inside it and then you have to go down the bottom and click the one that says manage guest.
Okay, great. I'm figuring it out.
Yes. Click on ensure that it is green.
Yes. I want us to discuss the early planning and team assembly strategy that goes into election planning. And I'm suggesting start with a massive public relations exercise. It should be so blitzy. So you remember what the JLP did with Jamaican Achievements now? It's before the election, while the government was in, they came out with it should be on TV, on radio, on social media.
And hello neighbor, I remember that campaign very well, 2007. There were so many brochures and flyers around. There were brochures and flyers all over the place with the 1.5 plan, with all type of different things that 2007, I mean. There were so many brochures and flyers around.
And here what now, we're going Republic. All that information we're supposed to be getting out to people and let them know the benefit of going to Republic, so that they can get buy-in from the people. All that has to be done as well.
Even that the PNP want to come and upend right now. So we have a response. I agree with Churchill. We have a responsibility to, in our own way, explain it to people, break down the information to people so that they can digest it. Because if we allow PNP and their propaganda and to control the narrative with their propaganda, then we're gonna have an uphill.
And that's exactly what's going on right now, HR.
I don't think it's going on so much again, though. I think the information.
No, it's not that. It's not like one time. It's not that bad, but it's still having a ripple effect on us right now. Same way.
Yeah, I think our information is going on now, but I still think it's not going out as fast and as effective and as strong as it
One of the important bills that have been brought to Parliament last week. I don't know if you guys see it. And it's the amendment to the Procurement Act. And if you hear this Prime Minister speak about how things are held up so long before they can get going,
red tape.
that is part of that initiative to get things done faster. You know, to cut out some of the dead period in procuring things. So that
all right. Secondly, guys. Secondly, a lot of labor rights are bursting champagne bottles already. They feel that the party has already won. Is this a mistake?
No, it's not a mistake, neighbor. It's not a mistake because, for one, that is good for morale. That's one to start busting champagne bottle. That's good for morale. And two, I don't think it's a mistake because the party, and there's no doubt about it. The party has a good chance. We are in good standing with the Jamaican people, and we have a good chance of taking home the elections. I don't think so. We just need to ensure that when the date is called, or before the date is called, we hit the road and we start campaign, speak to the people, stay with the people. That's what we need to do.
It's a good place to be in, neighbor, once it doesn't translate into complacency.
Exactly, Foresight. Once it doesn't translate to complacency, exactly.
Because the one that feel good spirit among
you have to be the energy.
Yeah,
it has to be something that propels you. And
yes,
you can win. You can win 2 times. You can win before you play the game, and you still win after.
Yeah, and it's very important to feel like you're going to win.
Yes,
just don't become complacent. Just don't become complacent.
But that's got to be.
I don't think we're complacent either. I don't think we're complacent.
I don't think so.
I don't think we're complacent because we are.
Go ahead, I'll be right back.
We are aware of the propaganda that is being spread against us, and we're rapidly fighting that propaganda every day. So we're not getting complacent.
Yeah. And Churchill, I address upon where you say with the Republic not addressing it. I mean, spread the education. They're actually doing it. If you follow Malalo too, because you're not aware, but if you follow they just Malalo Ford, like literally every week, them there in the school them. And them are spread it, them are inform the people about there being a republic. So it's
that's actually doing it.
That's true.
That's not to cut the facts that we shouldn't have to follow Mala either alone to find out about it.
Right. I'm saying we should have a something printed every month or so and put out there.
But you
should have to follow Marlene to know about what is going on.
A program that is more wide scale and a national right across the nation, right? I would want to see a program that the party's achievements, not just going republic, but different benefits, different achievements of the party.
Yes.
Yeah. And it is very aggressive and it's very glitzy, as neighbor would say. And it is something
has done too much and persons don't know what is going on.
Right? On a national level. That is what I want to see from the party. Just like as we were talking about 2016, it was
2007.
Right. You everywhere you scroll, you see information.
07.
Yeah, right.
Both advertisement and the radio, and you have something printed.
Yes, both the print and yes.
The printed material.
Yes.
G2K was more active. I realized that G2K has always been, instrumental in the JLP, securing victory at the polls. But I don't know what is happening with them now.
They wake up in a foresight. They're very active. I'm on Twitter, so I know they're very active.
Okay.
Spreading the party's message. It's Twitter and Facebook.
Yeah, that is where G2 came out to start.
Why are they not more active on TikTok though? And when you look at the TikTok page, they don't have much posts.
They take on to Twitter. They take on to Twitter.
Guys, what do you think are the strengths and weaknesses of the opposition? As we look at strategies, what do you think are their strengths going into the election?
Only spreading propaganda.
Yeah, they're very good at fooling up people.
Yeah,
the weakness is their history.
Yeah.
The weakness is their history.
History
is not kind to fancy at all.
Yeah, they have a lot of baggage with them that they're gonna have to overcome, especially since PJ come out and expose himself. They have a lot of baggage that they're gonna have to overcome, and I don't think they have any strength really, because
I think when it comes to the PNP campaign, it's more bite than bite. You know.
Guys, let's not fool ourselves.
Is there,
Right.
do you think that they have greater strengths, foresight?
I'm gonna name those strengths for
No,
Compared to 2016.
I know that they are stronger now. This is not a Peter Phillips PNP.
This is not a yes, exactly.
Right? So I know they are stronger now. But I'm
Exactly.
not, as I say, I'm not worried about what the PNP is doing. I'm more concerned about what we are doing, you know, in some of the areas where I think we need to step up the pace. Because if we step up the pace in the areas that we should, then the PNP is no match. That's just my
Foresight, the
personal
only
opinion.
way the PNP can gain an advantage right now, again in the form of strength, is they're relying on our own self-destruction. That's the only way PNP can based on
The
our own
PNP only
self-destruction.
looking a little bit strong where when it comes, as it relates to the base, how they appeal to the base,
As
right?
long as we don't
I
self-destruct,
don't
we are
think
good.
they do much to attract voters outside of them base, right? And a large part of the following for the PNP are people who are traditional PNP. But in terms of PNP having a clear and concise message that is compelling to like the undecided, I don't get that.
But what about the optics, Guru?
That's what I was going to say. The optics is important.
There is no doubt that they have been able to, by their optics, create an impression that things are going for them.
Yeah, because you have a bandwagon effect that comes with building a vibes and building a momentum. So we can't ignore the power of that.
That's
And
what
they're going by the last local government election results.
But when we rev up and match them at that level, when they come on to the vibe and we do a high energy campaign and all of that, the PNP will be blown away.
Let me see if we can add some perspective to it. All right. First of all, neighbor, I said this to you recently, and you have to understand that if you want to assess the strength of the PNP versus the strength of the Jamaica Labour Party, let me bring you back to February 2024.
Yes.
February 28th, when we had the local government election. The People's National Party was able to mobilize their general election crowd. The support that they brought out for the local government was their general election crowd. It was able to motivate them.
That's it.
But with that come out, they still could not overrun the Jamaica Labour Party, which means in terms of our base activity, we are stronger than them. I'm not saying that they are weak, but we are stronger there.
You are saying that the local government elections last year, in analyzing it, what happened was that's the best the PNP.
That's the best they are bringing out. That was their general election code.
A lot of people thought that government would change.
Wow.
Because
A lot of people, yes.
They thought it was a general election. And they brought out their general election crowd against our local government election.
Against our local government crowd.
So wouldn't you say there are some would argue that we were not able to match them because why?
Because we weren't campaigning 3 weeks before election.
We were campaigning for our local government, not a general. They were campaigning as a general election.
And a much longer time to
The psychology of that is that the Jamaican people recognize that there will be no change of government.
No
at that
change
time.
in government. Exactly.
So
Right.
Once Andrew Holness is on the ballot.
yeah,
Let me ask this neighbor. Have you seen the Jamaica Labour Party keep any mass meeting in the last few years? No.
Apart from the
conference, no.
Apart from conference, no mass meeting has been kept.
No, there's some small classroom settings. Small classroom settings.
Small classroom spot meetings.
Yes.
The PNP has kept mass meeting right across this country. Everywhere them go, bust other people going in.
Stage show.
So
Right?
to put
They
some
must have
numbers,
an artist line up to bring out people, and people go to the party.
to put some numbers, the last parochial election drew out 720,000 people compared to 830,000 people, 840 in that region in
For
the general
2020.
election.
For 2020.
Yeah. So it's still 120,000 people that did not come out in the parochial election. And those votes are out there.
How does that compare to
If
previous
you go,
local government
but if,
turnout rate?
but Dimi, if you go to the 2016 numbers, we both pull out 400,000 each for 2016. For 2020, we managed to pull 400, they pulled 300.
I like that, you know, Chuck, where you are suggesting to me that based on the PNP's strength in Jamaica at this time, we saw it at the local government election.
We've already seen it.
We saw it.
Yes, we saw it.
You don't think they can do any better?
They can't.
But
They can.
They can't.
No, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think
do
there
any
was
better.
any
That was their
PNP
support.
supporter who did not participate in the last local government election. Not many. They went
They're
all
not
out.
playing with their cards up.
They went all out for the local.
They went all out. They are now playing with their cards up.
So they peaked last year and
Last year. Right? And you will not see any better from them. But I don't take that to believe that they are not stronger. They are still a PNP. Right? But
Personally, I don't think they peak.
I don't believe that they are playing with their cards up.
As this.
Yeah, would have seen those persons voted the last time also.
I think they can. I think they have the advantage. They can come back to a
I think what we need to
400,000.
do is to compare that with the local, with the general election crowd as well. Because
let's move on to messaging. The message of the opposition, which has coalesced their supporters, is that time come. They have been able to hit hard this concept that we need a change, because that's what they're basically saying. The opponent's message is that we need to change. How does that, you think, what is the message of the Labour Party? They have, I think Chuck was saying earlier that the Labour Party don't really do well with catchy phrases. Don't you think that a catchy theme is necessary to stimulate and build labor rights? Me and my neighbor voting for Labour. Isn't that catchy?
I think we will see the phrase when the campaign is launched. And the slogan when the campaign is launched.
Neighbor, I thought we agree Project Jamaica gonna be the slogan going forward.
yes, Chuck.
I think that's up to the Prime Minister and his team when the campaign launch.
It's important,
Trust me, we're gonna have lots of party songs to go with. We're gonna have lots of,
most definitely,
we're not gonna be short of parties.
I think so too, Chuck.
The song is one thing, but we have
the
to
party slogan is not necessarily, the
necessary, man.
Slogan.
It's necessary.
No, I'm not saying it's not necessary. I say sometimes the slogan that becomes popular is not necessarily the party slogan. Like for example, we have active and strong now. Me and my neighbor voting for Labour was a slogan, but it wasn't a party slogan, right?
Listen, for all what's going on in Jamaica right now, this Project Jamaica thing is a very good thing to put out there to people. Jamaica is developing, it's getting better. A lot of people are experiencing a higher standard of living, and it's called Project Jamaica. That's what Andrew Holness is working on.
The Prime Minister will definitely decide the slogan going forward when the campaign launch.
Project Jamaica moving into a higher gear. That's what we said, right?
We have a lot of slogans, tested, tried, and proven. There's a lot of things we can use.
Guys, don't you guys listen? I believe that all of these things have already been sorted out. And some of the things that we're asking for on social media, we are asking for things that we don't want. There's some things that are going on that you will not hear about on social media.
Exactly.
Media, right? If we understand politics, if we understand warfare, you cannot put everything out there. What you're doing to the enemy.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Let me tell you one of the most important things you have to learn in life. You never know which piece of information is important to somebody else. So you have to be careful what you say.
Sure.
You never know what is important to somebody else.
And we will never underestimate our opponent.
I hear that they have a very good campaign plan.
Exactly.
Yes. A massive campaign plan coming, man.
Yeah, I mean, so they have a very campaign
Their
strategy.
campaign will be a negative campaign. So we have to prepare to counter that. They will have a negative campaign.
Well, I think the good thing for us is that what we have seen over the years
I
is that the
don't
time
think their
come.
negative campaign is resonating though.
I mean, Philippian, I mean, with their time come, what I see with time come, it's only connecting with the PNP base.
Yes, and the ability for them to resonate will depend a lot on what we do, how we respond to it.
It's not connecting with the undecided or a man who's not sure. Time comes, it's not just connecting with the PNP
Here, I don't
base.
think the PNP is doing anything too great, you know. It's just because we
Nothing.
That's what keep on saying.
Nothing. That's why I keep saying that only thing that can be a strength to PNP is unless we self-destruct ourselves.
Them can only look good if we
fall short.
Yeah, if we fall short or if we weak or we come flimsy with it.
And that is what they're depending on. That is what they're depending on.
I get the feeling that you have a set of people who just can't wait. You have,
have a question.
You have a number of persons who just can't wait until the JLP.
Facts done is going to be asking a question. Go ahead.
Yeah. So why you have like 5, because my uncle Labour, right? And him have 5 Labour come to him and ask, oh, the Prime Minister take back the house them free year? And him think that why you have Labour to ask them question there? Shouldn't they know better as a Labourite? You know, why they gonna ask the next Labour?
No, your process information. Your process.
Paxton, you have to realize that you have, yes, we're all Labourites, we will vote for the Labour Party, but you have some among us, some Labourites, and you have it on the other side too, that will, well, Chuck will call them shaky Labourites, right?
Yes.
I call them JLP supporters.
Right.
There's a difference between Labourite and party supporters. A Labourite will know, a party supporters might have some questions.
Yes,
not every Labourite will be strong like you and I, Faxda. Not every Labourite will be strong like you and I. And we both agree.
But one of the things we must not discard here is that Jamaica people, whether Labourite or PNP, they are susceptible to negative information because them now read it. And when the negative information hit them, it make them pause and make them second guess.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's when that guy come and ask himself a true said, he might take back the house. That's a typical example right there. And so we have to prepare. We have to be prepared for that kind of thing, that kind of negative campaign that they will come with.
Yeah. Isn't the party facing a challenge though with that cohort that is manipulative, that they don't know what to do, they don't know how to handle information, because who would believe such a number?
And you have that right across the board, the neighbor. You have that on both sides, and you have that right across the board.
That's a national issue. It's a national issue.
Right, and just to take it out of the political domain for
it's not just a pain, yeah.
It's just how we are as a people. Remember earlier I said, as a population, as a populace, we're not politically savvy. We're not politically savvy. And so when information like that come to a typical man, he want to question it. But me now, I, HR Guru, nobody can put that sort of information before me and it fly.
Yes.
Nobody. So that's just to show you the difference of the difference in the mindset with the population as a whole. And I'm taking it out of the political domain. It's how we are as a people, which is a deficiency, as I described earlier.
Exactly, HR. Exactly.
HR. Just imagine how much people in Jamaica you think believe in a Obia.
A whole heap.
Whole heap.
All right. That answers it right there.
All right. So how do we craft an effective message that responds effectively to because I can tell you a lot of misinformation and negative campaigning will happen.
Neighbor who can craft the most perfect messaging apparatus, put it in the best suit and tie and everything, and it still doesn't resonate. It's just if you want to take the information or not as a person.
Someone is suggesting that Jamaicans, someone is suggesting that people vote out. Do you think that is true, that we vote governments out in Jamaica?
Yes.
Yes, and it's a reason for government not winning there. Yeah.
Yes.
Can you foresee any risk here that Jamaicans will vote out this one?
There's always a risk. There's definitely always a risk, right? But now,
where that come from?
What do we have? What are the positive we had for us this time?
We got Mark.
First of all, let me say this. I don't think Jamaicans know the know the distinction between a government and a political party. And
yes.
What I see is them voting out a political party. They don't see it as a government that is serving them, are doing good for everybody.
Yeah, just true.
It's just the minority.
Yes.
That's just the minority that you will see. Okay, the more, where you say the more educated persons who will vote for a government.
Very well said, Philippe.
But the grassroots, they're voting for their political party.
Yeah, they're both for party, not for government. So it's not about what the party do, it's who the party is. Right? And me not like to vote against JLP.
So the JLP has to strategically get the government message out.
As I said before, neighbor, the BS vote for the party. The undecided
vote for the government.
Yes.
And exactly. Undecided is not loyal to any side.
That there are comrades who have switched. Do you think that there are comrades out there who have looked at Jamaica and said, the party here, the government
Many of them, the younger ones, yes. The ones who grew up in traditional PNP family, which are looking at their parents and questioning, what have you been voting for years? Because what I've seen, you spend 30 years under this MP, right? And not our single road has been fixed. And we haven't had water through those 30 years. Now I see Tova Hamilton in our first term bringing water to my house. Mommy, what have you been voting for? All this time.
That what happened over in Westmoreland? In the last election? Huh?
I think some amount of it happened. As to how the extent to which it happened, if it's going to be sufficient.
That's part of it. I can tell you that's part of it in Eastern Westmoreland because they weren't satisfied with what they were getting from their president, that their MP at the time.
So why is there talk that they have returned? Why is there that talk?
That who have returned?
That the West is back in.
Because it's not about facts. It's not even about performance only. It's about what you get people to believe.
It's about the mind game, the fog of war.
Right?
Never hear the term the fog of war?
Yes.
The message
that is what they are creating, the fog of war.
And to some people, right, the message is more important than the reality. To some people, the message is more convincing than the reality. To some, that's the problem with Jamaica, A lot of person has to be told how to think. It's not about them observing for themselves. So the popular narrative, right, will do more to convince them. It's not about what people know, it's about how they feel. So the narrative is there,
Do you think that the Labour Party understands this philosophy of the party's role in supporting the government in messaging and in winning the election.
If what? Repeat that.
If the party, the Philippians said that it is not Jamaicans vote out government. Do you think that the party has done sufficient to support the government?
My answer to that is no.
Yeah?
My answer to that is no.
No.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I don't think the party.
Do you think they realize? Do you think, because that is the Bruce Gordon man? Do you think they realize the distinct difference between the government and the party? Because
no, they have. No, they realize it.
No, they do.
All right, you see that grassroots that you talk about, right? Right? It's what they feel about a party, you know. It's not necessarily what they know about a party. A lot of persons who are saying they're going to be voting comrades. It's not that they don't know that JLP has been doing a good job, you know, as a government. It's not that they don't see it, but they just have a preference, that emotional connection to their party. And you're going to go based on how they feel about the PNP party.
Yeah, it's like your favorite football team.
Yeah.
So Mark is texting away in the box. He's saying that they're not going to be voting on no policies. And this is why I started the program by talking about our broadening the base.
A lot of persons won't be voting on policies for sure.
The cost of living. Is the cost of living, Guru, a fundamental issue in the election that is going to be a challenge?
The PNP is trying to make that a hot topic.
Look here, traditionally, people support the party leader who is more able to, who they respect more. And I can tell you that a lot of people are running away from Mark Golding. So we have to be, the message has to be geared towards the leaders heavily.
Exactly.
Yes, when we talk about policies and accomplishments, all those things, but we have to make the target.
So make it a presidential election. Put up the leader against Golding.
And that is why I say we
always
can't rule out the possibility or the effort to make Andrew Holness become really popular again. Like, I mean, to increase the popularity of Andrew Holness going on into the next election. We can't rule out that factor. So it's going to be an important factor.
Listen, when PNP came to power in 1972, Joshua them vote for, you know. Them vote for Joshua. And when them vote for PJ, them vote for Black Man.
Black Man, yeah, sure.
So it's always about the leader.
One of the good things, Churchill, for us is that Mark Golding doesn't have that impact of a leader as past PNP leaders and PNP supporters.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So he has to be our main target.
Yes.
Because
he
PJ
don't have that impact as past PNP leaders.
It wasn't that PJ was that good at winning election.
No.
It's just because they were able to demonize Siaga.
That's what I was going to say, Forsyth. I was going to say it's all about who's the opponent.
Eh?
Yeah, I was going to say it was all about who's the opponent as well. That's what PJ used.
The minute Siaga stepped down and Bruce won the election against a Simpson.
Exactly.
So that shows that it wasn't about the PJ being that good at winning elections. And you have to also remember that a lot of those elections were rigged.
Were rigged. People voted.
So this is the election and that is going to test the true power of the PNP. Because all this nonsense about PNP country and all of that now will be rubbish in this election coming. We'll
put those arguments
because the notion has built up because of PNP 18 years, right? At the helm, right? People have the impression that PNP is good at winning election and is PNP country and all of that. But they're not looking at the fact that who PJ was going up against. PJ was going up against a demonized Siaga.
Listen, man, we are going into a republic, right? Do we want a British man to come tell we say him want to leave Jamaica at this time?
Well, the truth is we can't underestimate the number of people who want that and don't care about that.
I was just going to say, we have half of the electorate who is with him.
Exactly. How do we get people to understand, right?
That is
What
the point.
really matters.
That's the
Issues
point.
that really matter. So when you talk about the PR, all of those things have to be taken into consideration. How do we get Jamaicans to vote on the things that really matter? We're not really Jamaicans on a whole. We're talking specifically about the grassroots, right? Because at the grassroots level, the numbers are high, so we can't ignore them. We can't cuss them. We
And
can't
I
cuss them after them
feel,
dumb and
foresight,
this and that.
I feel that is where
We still
we're
have to
not
try and engage
connecting.
them.
I think
Listen,
that
man.
is where we're not connecting the grassroots level.
Yes,
We're
because
trying
our
to-
approach has been talking mostly to those who can already make informed decisions.
Yes,
We're-
I think we are not connecting with the grassroots level. That is where we're
Can the
losing.
grassroots be reached though? Can they really?
Yes, there's a way to reach.
We are trying to get away from Britain in every shape and form. We're not going back there.
Reaching the grassroots.
Reaching the grassroots is getting the right people to talk to them. Who carries
Reaching the
message?
grassroots is not the traditional way of how we come on here and talk and stuff like that. There's a different approach for the grassroots. Different folks, different strokes. Trust me.
Yeah, they don't listen to lectures.
Yes, they don't, and they don't read either.
So you have to present the information of farm bits and pieces, and in a way that engages them.
It's a totally different approach to get the grassroots.
The British held us back for years. We can't go back there, sir. Not another British man.
Yeah, but
That is what
Churchill,
we have to do.
you preach to converted all the way here.
I said you talk about grassroots people. That me I talk about.
Yeah, but what if a grassroots no feel away? So where we are discuss now, we are going beyond that now to discuss. Oh,
we can't go beyond that.
No, Churchill, the reason why D needs to go beyond that, the grassroots don't care if you are British or English, is what you have for him.
A lot of them don't care about that.
It's what you can offer to him.
Yes.
Neighbor, I have a question there.
Yes.
Why you have the party supporter them? I mean, what am I say? The BS. Why them I go say, oh, why if MP not give me no money, no man, I'm not voting now. Why is that so?
Exactly. That is the belief of the grassroots. No, that is the
Oh,
grassroots.
if I get no money, boy, me nah vote.
You know, sir.
Why is
Because
that?
guess why? Guess why? Because we live in a world, or we live in a country where we see persons living in the communities, see where other persons has received or benefited stuff. So people just feel like they are supposed to benefit as well. You see, in these communities, I don't know how you guys' community, but my community where I'm from, that's why at one point persons weren't interested in the voting process. Why? Not because of the MP. Persons were not interested in the voting process because of how resources were being distributed. It was one set of person receiving one set of things all the time.
But let me tell you something about grassroots we need to understand as well. Separate apart from the handout that works, right? One of the key things about grassroots.
Define for us the grassroots though. Who are the grassroots? Who we talking about?
The common man on the ground. When you can't go to him in
The
a detail.
grassroots live in these garrison communities that are garrisonized and believe in a party and know say, yeah, we're labor right, we're just a labor right no matter what.
Not necessarily diehards, but people who just a common man on the road where
the common man.
pay much attention to no detail.
Where the GDP, if not understand about the GDP.
Understanding, he might think about about the personal benefits. He might try to make sense of what is happening and how it benefits him.
Let me ask this question.
Right?
Let me ask a question. And this is something I'm seriously want answer to. And it's something I hear the PMP with, I know, but me hear JLP people are repeating now. Who is the common man?
Yes.
The man who is in the farmer, who is not in the farmer, the economy, the GDP personally have no impact on him. He may feel like say the GDP, not understand about what is not debt to GDP.
Even the man begging on the street, the GDP have an impact on him. Because the GDP decide whether people can give $5 or $10.
The man loading the taxi at the
Well,
station.
I believe that. Can I know about him GDP or nothing?
Do you think we have bridged the gap though? In that we have brought more people into what are the poverty numbers, Chuck?
12.5%.
Huh?
I think it's 12.5% now, right?
13%. You know, we are 13%.
13?
No, we're lower than that, man. Well, let me check. I think
I
we're lower than that.
believe they said it was 13%.
I think we moved from 21 in
13
to 12.5 in 2020. What, 3?
So,
I don't know.
So when you talk about poverty, that a person is below the poverty line, what is that line that they are falling below? Skill.
The poverty line is measured as an income. I think is it $50,000 per month? I don't remember that far.
Less than that, man.
Can I say something? Good evening, everybody.
That's 50,000.
Yeah, good evening.
Go ahead, common sense.
Yeah, man.
Let me try to remember.
It used to be $2 per day. I think it's about $3 per day.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Remember they measured across the world, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's about, it used to be $2 US.
Common sense before you come up. So
About $3 a day.
Yeah, it's
the
about
people
$3 US a
who
day.
are working the minimum wage, they're not considered poor.
No.
So those who are captured as below the poverty line, where is the poverty line?
That's what I'm saying. They measured, I think it's $3 per day. Anybody. And this
Living
goes
on less than
worldwide.
$3 a day.
Yeah,
So
that's
living on
$3
yes,
per day.
that's
Yeah.
$450. So anybody in Jamaica living on $450 per day is considered
Below
poor.
the poverty line.
No, it's less than about $3 a day, I think.
No, it's $5.50.
It gone to $5.50 now?
Yeah.
Oh, you Google that. Okay, I know when it was $3. So
That's about $800.
That's a long time ago, though.
So how many Jamaicans are living below the poverty line? Let me see if I can find it. Common sense, are you there?
13%.
I think the poverty rate is level percent. The poverty rate for American right now, it says level percent.
When last, that's the latest finding?
Yes, yeah, that's the latest finding.
That's
Level
what, 2024?
2024.
Oh.
11%, correct?
Coming from 21%.
Yes.
How many persons are that in terms of numbers? 11%.
11% of the population.
11%.
Yeah, it will be 11% of the $2.8 million. 2.8 million people.
That is about 250,000.
No, 300,000 maybe around that range.
Yeah, about 280, 300,000.
300,000, yeah.
Right. So these people now, is it that they are unemployed or unemployable?
Unemployable.
No, a lot of them don't want to work.
Unemployable.
There's about a good 6% who doesn't want to work. I've known people, all we should know people from them born and never work a day.
They're not just unemployed, they're unemployable. They don't have the basic skills to gain employment.
No, so yeah, you have a fraction also that do not want to work. State it that way. There's a fraction of Jamaicans, not only Jamaicans, other nations too. They just don't care to work.
So that fraction that doesn't want to work, is that fraction in the below the poverty line fraction?
I don't want to give out misinformation here. Is Jamaica's poverty 11%? Are we sure of that?
Well, yes, that is an international standard, yes. If that's what it says, yeah, that's how they measure it, if it's at 11%. Below the poverty line. Read the article, what it says now.
No. What I have here is I don't have any date on it, and I don't want to necessarily.
I know in 2023 it was the last one that came out, right? Was the 2023 stats, and it was about 12.5%.
Right. Let me read it, guys.
11% could be correct because I remember I checked it in 2022, and it was 16%.
Okay, that is high, man. That is high.
Listen.
It's about 11%, 12.5%.
Hold on, let me read this, guys. Let me read it. The share of Jamaica living below the upper middle income international poverty line of $6.85 US per day is estimated to have dropped from 13.9% in 2021 to 12.3% in 2023.
That's correct.
I want to add to the point, neighbor.
Hold on, Hold on. So then has it come down from the 12?
That's the 2023 number, 12.3%.
And that is very good, trust me. That's a good number.
With
so you're talking about 300,000. So these people will likely vote.
Some of them.
But these would what we now call the grassroots.
Yeah, so these are the people now that it's not necessarily the facts that get them, that move them into action. It's
But
really,
sure, if you can have 300 people out of a voting population of about 800, let's say about 850,000 people will turn out to vote, and 300,000 are persons who will take $5,000 to vote. We are in a crisis.
yes, because what really happened is how you get them to feel about the party. And a lot of them too, a lot of these people, you know, is which party they feel care more about their circumstances.
I want
right?
to add to the point, neighbor.
What question though, guys?
About
aren't these persons don't these persons really come out and vote?
But wouldn't some of these people be on path?
Yes.
Neighbor, I just want to add to the point that common sense raised a while ago to say that some persons just don't want to work. So I'm in the HR space. So I like to keep on HR news, keep in touch with HR news. So listen to this little piece of research here, neighbor. 6 in 10 companies are firing recent Gen Z graduates, report says. I want to read a short paragraph for you. It's not long. And this is in the US, neighbor. So it's a problem that is not just typical to Jamaica, but is right across the world. Around 1,000 US business leaders participated in the survey. Moreover, 1 in 6 employers mentioned that they are not sure if they are inclined to hire recent college graduates in the future. The reasons bosses cited for this decision were that Gen Z graduates are not motivated to work, do not demonstrate initiative and professionalism, and lack communication skills that are essential to the workplace. So what common sense in a while ago is true.
Yeah, man.
That's research, neighbor.
HR.
Well, I should tell you that in 2016, the poverty rate was 17.1%. 17.1%. So then the government.
HR.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
I think Jamaica poverty rate or the below poverty line is a more aging population than a younger population.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
but we have an aging population, right?
Yeah, but I think our poverty rate.
Common sense. Help me here, man. Come here.
Yeah.
Common sense.
Yes, sir.
If it is not quite $300,000 based on 300,000 people. In 2017, that's when this party took power. It was 17.1%, and they have brought it down to what 11% now. So that's a drop by 5%.
Which is significant.
How many people they have taken out of poverty?
On the percent, well, they have to work across.
Just work it out.
Work with 11%. Because let me tell you something. If you want to know real figure, just Google United States people below poverty level and tell me numbers. I
don't think it would be a fair comparison though in terms of.
I remember
in 2016 when the government took power, it was 21% though.
Huh?
No, it wasn't. I know. It was about 16, 17.
17% in 2016.
Yeah, it was about 16, 17. I believe we are take about 3.5%.
My question, common sense, is wouldn't these people be benefiting from the social programs of the government?
Yes, a lot of them will be benefit, yes. But the point I'm making, a lot of people do not want to work. And for instance, I know of extended family members, and it doesn't matter what you do, they just not going to work. What they do, they stick around, they live in homes, family homes, generational family homes, and them just live like that. They don't care about working. It's not that they cannot work. But they have a small percentage, yes, who are like that also. And everybody on this planet should be able to identify such people. And it happens right through the world, you know?
What impact you think this cohort of people will have on the election?
Well, I mean, I think it's so significant because a lot of
I personally think this cohort of people vote. I think this is the cohort that vote.
These are the ones that vote the most. They are more enthused. Them not go sit down.
Yes, that's exactly foresight. I believe that that is the cohort that really vote.
And that is why they are so important. And we have to find out how to get to them.
Right. Well, I guess I don't know on that still. But the problem is, host, where they come to election in Jamaica, what I think we need to penetrate is the middle and upper middle class people. They are the one that is not voting.
Yes.
That's the problem. A lot of them think that they're too good to go stand up in the line. And in 1980 election, right, we had about an 86% turnout. And why it was like that? People were fearful of communism. So everybody almost went out there.
These same upper class people, eh?
Oh, yes. Everybody went there. That is why we got 86% turnout.
So let me ask you a question now. You don't think that these people, in recognizing where Jamaica is today, which we are arguing is on a positive trajectory, you don't think that these people should have an interest in helping Jamaica stay on this path?
Certainly, because this election is going to be one of the most consequential elections. Now,
yes.
What it really requires is for the JLP right now to find a way to communicate to these people. Because in the 8th election, what we had that big election, we had a good message and we put it out. There's a simple message. Look, guys, you're going to lose on freedom. It is communism coming. We don't want that with communism. You're going to lose your rights. And that was one of the biggest driving factors. Now, if the JLP...
Question common sense.
Yeah.
How big is the upper to middle class population?
In Jamaica?
Yes.
It's a huge population because consider you would have to put like let's say police officers, teachers, all of those people going fall in that category. The civil servants.
The largest cohort, is the working class.
Yes.
The middle class really is the largest cohort. But the problem with that though, these are the people who they will criticize you for the bad but don't reward you for the good. Right? So they will sit down on election day.
Then yes, it's a kind of an ignorance because the last 2020 election, you see, I was watching it and I heard this call him so-called professor from UWI. Two of them were, doing commentators on the election. And one of them said openly them not believe in voting. So I said to myself that is just a damn fool because he shouldn't be giving a lecture to no kids. Because here's a professor from UWI, right? Don't even understand his basic civic right. And saying it on national TV. So when I look at that level of ignorance, come on, man. I'm in United States, and when it comes to my election thing, I take that so goddamn serious. I can vote by mail, but I do not want to vote by mail. I want to go out there and go join the line. It's part of the show,
I think we should make election day a civic holiday in Jamaica.
Yeah,
I think so too. And another thing,
if the message is tailored good, I think
it's our single most important civic duty that we are carrying out. The only way that the small man can talk to the government.
Sense. Help us with the tailoring of this message because you are abroad, eh?
Yes, but listen, I'm not sure if I'm the right messenger for that. But what I would say, we need a simple message because, like those, take for instance the pensioners, right? A lot of these pensioners, are real retired police officers, military people, teachers, people work in private sectors. Because a lot of people do not know, like, Jamaica has a good pension plan, I'm not talking about NIS. Jamaica has one of the best pension plans, I think, in the world.
Wow.
Yes.
But common sense, one of the problem with this cohort, is also that a lot of them still vote along party lines.
Well, yes,
but for government, they still have a preference.
Especially civil service workers.
Yes, right. But I mean, if people get the idea that, look, Hollis is doing so much for pensioners, we could target the pensioners. You get what I'm saying? If we can get across the message and say, well, okay, look at civil servants, right? You guys have gotten the best increase in the standard of living increase.
Tell me about
that message to others. It can reach them. I have a friend, you see.
Yes.
He's about 42, and I got a story. I think I shared another live the other day. And I couldn't believe. But about 2015, So you used to do 2015, first you used to do here at our house, right? Braid hairs and thing. And then sometimes she would reach out to me, she would need a little fun and me try and help her out. She's a little kid. In 2015, she said to me that she want to go to UTech to go do a course in pharmacy tech, right? The course, I don't remember, it was 200 plus thousand. So I said, okay, I'll give her half the money. So I remember sending her $1,000 towards it, right? And she went and did the course and she tried and work out the rest of the money. She went and did the 2-year course, did her internship eventually and so forth. And about 2 years ago, she bought a car.
Mm-hmm.
And her car payment, she says, like 70-something thousand. And she told me that she's approved for a house loan for 20,000. So I said to myself, then if she does bought this car, paying that car note and get approved again for a house for 20 million, sorry. I said that debt equity ratio, she might have to have a good debt equity ratio. So I said, it hit me. So I was there talking to her. I said, how much you make per month or per year? She said, in the 4 million mark. I was shocked. And you know what she worked as? She said she worked with the government as a level 2 pharmacy tech. And she also told me that she's making more money now than a pharmacist a trained pharmacist working in the private sector. She told me that. And I believe her because I'm telling you, she got approved for the house, 20 million. She's paying her car note. And it's about 3 years now, she hasn't asked me for any assistant.
Yes.
So that's what prompted me now to ask her how much she's making. Because I realized, look, I know numbers. I know if she's paying that big car note, and it's a good car she bought, I think in 22 or 23 model, whatever. If she's making that car payment and get approved for 20 million loan, that alone tell me that she's making money. Because the bank would never have approved her for a 20 million loan to buy a house if the income didn't justify it. Yeah, she said that. But the point I want to make, look, in no time she went to UTech, did her training, and the government. So we have to reach people like that.
Yes.
In terms of how the government have helped these civil servants.
And do you think that we are focusing on what we call the marginalized or the grassroots?
No.
Area where the votes are.
Yes, there is a lot of more. There's more enthusiasm there, right? They are more likely to vote. But one of the problems I have with Jamaica is that the electorate in Jamaica is quite unique, and it has to be assessed properly, because one of the things you have to realize is that you have a lot of persons who are, we don't have visionary voters, especially in that cohort. It has to be more like immediate to short term. The benefits that are offered that move them into action has to be mostly immediate to short term benefits.
I agree with you on that, yes.
Right. So if you have a pension, a person who is working in their 30s, and if you are, they are not necessarily moved by a pensionary benefit as such.
No, they won't.
Even the insurance person will tell you it's like pulling teeth sometimes, getting them to buy insurance, getting them to take out a pension plan, because that's one of the challenges that they have. Sometimes it's the hardest product to sell. So when a government comes and say, okay, you're going to be getting a better pension, right, under my government, that doesn't move them into action. But if you tell them about salary increase or something that is more short term, or a threshold increase, that they know that come next year they're going to benefit, that entices them more, right? So we have to look at these factors. These are the reality of our kind of politics, right? I'm going to 1 year, someone get something 10 years down the line, or in 10 years' time. And that is that's one of the challenges that the government have now. Because
that's foresight, facts, true.
People are not looking at where the country is going. They're just looking at where the country is at the moment.
True.
We can't read direction. A lot of persons, especially like that, they don't read direction and see. They can look at the direction and say, oh, you know, we'll be having a brighter future if we stay on this, if we stay on course or stick with this government. And then the distraction now coming from the opposition to tell them that, oh, the government need to be building a house that is already under construction.
Yes.
Right? And they buy into that without realizing that the house that the opposition is telling that is telling them to be built is already under construction under this government. Right? So they believe the narrative and ignore the reality.
But you know, Foresight, some would argue that you have to play a little of the politics too, in creating a perception. I argue that 1.5 won the party in the 2016 election.
Exactly.
Is there not a room for stability, not any run with the budget or announcement, but there has to be something that.
Well, there better be, and that is why we are having this discussion. Yes. Because you see, you have to gain, or you have to hold on to power to be able to do the things that you want. Right? So
yes, Roger Clark once said that it's better for us. Well,
you have to care to win in order to win to care, right?
Yes.
So you have to do what is necessary, right, to entice the electorate.
What is necessary at this point, though, Foresight? What are some ideas that probably you think would excite the electorate without
more
money in pocket?
We don't specify the party know what to do, man. They know what to do.
Money in pocket.
They know what to do, yeah.
Well, I hope the party knows what to do, but I mean,
they know what to do.
Remember, these are not things that we're letting out of the bag because we don't know what's in the bag, so we're just discussing it open.
Yeah, they know what to do.
Another increase in threshold.
But you agree that some politics have to be played.
Oh yeah, man. Of course.
Yeah.
Because you can't take the politics out of the politics. Really and truly, you have to. It's not about just governing; it's about politicking as well.
You know, sir. I thought that when the Prime Minister at the conference spoke about the National Water Commissions, that if the Prime Minister had said that the policy of the government is that every single Jamaican pipe will disconnect should be reconnected, that would just be a master stroke. Just reconnect back every Jamaican, give them the water.
Exactly.
Give them. Nobody argue about no category or who.
Condition, right.
Just say you are instructing the National Water Commission, beginning Monday morning, reconnect every Jamaican that has been disconnected.
Yeah, but remember, neighbor, everything that the Prime Minister, every revenue that the government give up in the neighbor, the government has to find a way.
Yeah, but you remember we gave the traffic ticket thing. What they call it? Amnesty.
Yeah.
That is government giving up income.
No, but with amnesty, we didn't say the same. But listen, it's different because with the amnesty neighbor, we didn't say don't pay the ticket, all right, to get off.
We say you can pay still pay your ticket. Because after
still pay your ticket.
To go to the court. So what they do, they allow them to come in and pay.
Yes, you have to still pay.
Yeah.
But with the Water Commission now, that's basically giving away revenues that the government might not see a way how they can get back some of it.
There are people constantly talking about the cost of living. I think, for example, that taxi drivers could get a reprieve in terms of licensing.
Hey, neighbor, that's what I said. Me said this, we keep on saying this every day. Transport Authority.
How much money do you think the government is going to give up? If it says to taxi men, we are going to give you a 25% discount on your road license next year.
Neighbor, the problem is, Nigel Clark, before he left, Nigel Clark spoke about this intensively. He said that the government is an inclusive government. The government doesn't want to be giving one sector something and there's other sectors who don't benefit as well. If you can see how the government distributes even the care package.
But remember we're talking about the common man now. Right? That's where the emphasis is. So like the taxi, the bus driver.
What research would the government would have done on the ground, speaking to the different demographics to understand what are the issues they are facing
I mean, a couple years ago, each taxi driver, there was a program in place where taxi drivers receive a 20,000 package towards gas, I believe, a couple years ago. You don't remember that?
Yeah, but that's for COVID, though. That's for COVID. You know, what about no? You know, that's what during COVID.
And you see that we don't even remember that, which tells you how poor the message is, because I don't recall that.
that we can do anything better with NHP.
Yeah, each taxi drivers who were registered got a 20,000.
Are almost 1%. I think when you look at those people who pay income tax, for you to get an income tax break, you have to be earning what, $3 million? Taxi men don't take home them type of money there, man. And they have struggled.
No. Taxi men take home good money. You have it wrong.
3 million?
Yeah, taxi men taking home maybe more than.
So you should be earning less than 3 million. Less than 3 million to get the tax refund.
Yeah. Well, I just think that a policy that says the government's policy, even on a temporary basis.
But all right, now, guys.
Anybody who is online who think that we don't have to play politics.
Who the government? But neighbor, the government giving back to a taxi operator. Who does it benefit? The operator of the taxi or the owner of the taxi?
Benefit everybody.
Benefit everybody.
Everybody benefit.
It's a multiplier effect, you know, sir. Because
multiplier effect, yes.
Do you think they could look at the toll to do something? That would touch a lot of people.
That has a more impact.
I noticed that the leg from Maypen to Mandeville is still free.
The center leg especially need to be looked at. From
Yeah, but
Spanish
that's not
Town to
giving a
center.
benefit. If it's still free, people don't count that in them.
Oh
because
my God,
that has been free.
I'm telling.
You would have to make something that is costing them now less costly to them. Then you score political points from that.
What about the drop? What about the drop in bus fare? Isn't that a good one as well? That happened the other day too?
No, man. That JTC more have to deal with that. You know, JUT. But like what neighbor has said, the transport authority, me think the government, because I've been saying it, cut the fees for the taxi man them. You know, me think that at least 10,000 or even the tax office, so transport authority plus tax office, because me think say.
You ever hear people say that you give a man something 10 times and the one time give him cost you out?
But neighbor, how about if let's say you can't lower toll rate for everybody, but you said to the busmen who would be carrying they will be making several trips per day through the toll, and you give them some incentive, some subsidy, right, for the toll. Taxi men, bus drivers, they get a concession on the toll rates that they pay daily. You don't think that would be something that could?
And you know, sir, think about people getting to work on time and getting home on time and how that has a positive spin-off. You know, these are creative things that can be done. And as I'm saying to you, as Jamaicans look forward to going to the polls in 2016, we are going to get some more money in our pocket. We are going for this. This sounds exciting.
I think that whatever the government is planning and giving back, it has to be inclusive. It cannot just be towards one sector.
No, but I think it can do a multiplicity of things.
It has to be inclusive. You notice the recent 20,000 rebate for persons who are paying tax.
But you don't think people forget that? People forget that, eh?
And then the government come and say that no, they are planning on giving other persons who are not in the tax net the 20,000 as well. So it has to be inclusive. We're living up with government has to be inclusive. It just cannot be penetrating a single sector. Because whatever is facing Jamaica is not just facing one sector. We're all facing it.
Yes. Quite correct. But there is great interest in the budget coming up. And there is great interest because I think that despite the positives we still have in Jamaica, we just admitted that there are over 200,000 persons who, the government still has to be investing millions in helping them to live from day to day. People in the middle class, are still probably, wanting to do better. And you are saying, Scratchy, that across all demographics, something.
Yeah, it has to be. If it's an election and you're going into an election and you're going to say you're going to give back to the citizens, I think it has to be across the board. It can't just be one sector.
Yeah, correct. Yes. And I have a question for HR, because HR, you maybe can help me on this one, right? Because even with the tax threshold of where they move it to 1.7 million, right? And I know especially for those people who got increase in salaries, right? They see it significantly on them taxes. But somehow, you see, HR, I talked to a few people on this, and it seems as if the workers who get the benefit don't put any value on it. Somehow it's like they cannot identify the benefit. That is my observation, because my friend I was talking to who making so much dollars, she couldn't identify our tax break, you know? So I was explaining to her, look, if you didn't get that 1.7 million tax break, look, you'd have paid so much more in taxes. Now in Florida, where I'm at, we get federal break, I think it's 25,000. Now, if we could get a break of 70,000 or 50,000, would mean significantly more income we will be taking home, you know? So somehow the government or whoever, they have able to explain to the people that that threshold, HR, they benefit that much. They don't have a money value to it.
So, I mean, but common sense, isn't that it's up to that person to compare the past pay stump or stuff like that and see the difference? It's supposed to be clear as day in their eyes.
Yes, what he's saying is that the policy has not translated into a positive perception.
That's a better way to put it, yes. And although they are saving a whole lot of money, somehow the JLP didn't sell it good, you know, I don't know. Or the people, they just don't understand, you know. But they maybe, let's say someone was making 2 million, right? And for argument's sake, they're paying 100,000 in taxes for the year. Now, with the tax threshold that they get, they're making 4 million, they may be paying the same 100,000, but they don't realize if the threshold was the 500,000 that PNP had, they would be paying a whole lot more taxes. The tax bill would double. There's not that, they're not making that connection, if you understand what I'm saying. Yeah. And that is what I mean. I spoke to a few people on it, you know, and that's a good benefit when the JLP had increased that tax threshold. But
1.5 at first.
I don't know if Philippine can expound on it, you know.
1.5 at first.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what me think the government for do for this budget is, I feel them need to have a balance of give government incentive and party incentive. Like the reverse income tax, to me, that was government incentive. To me, them need to, you know, have some more incentive, like party wise, like the housing, you know, the social housing program. To me, that more like a party centered. So me think them. No,
I can't use government resources. It's a party centered, bro.
You're not understanding what I mean. It's not the reverse income tax part. The reverse income tax is more generalized, meaning government centered. You know understand what I mean? It more everybody benefit. Everybody.
So when I say party, what do you mean?
Me meaning MP, me meaning the MP give MP more that's a resources like the social housing. So maybe what may I say now?
You know, so quite frankly, I don't feel that we're short and benefit. I think it's how it is.
Same thing with the care. Same thing with the care program. With the art. See the art program thing where they say 30 MPs get can send people got art. I think they need more program like that to help the MPs them. Instead of have it sent around the government itself, I think they need to give the MPs them more program to help them out. You know, like the social housing, the care program, the art trust program. I think them need the Spark program that are more MP wise. So I think the government, I personally, but I split it 70-30.
Facts. But let me tell you facts. I mean, I think the benefits inadequate, you know. What I think we could do more to sell the benefits.
Selling the benefits, yeah.
Right. I don't think the government get the credit that they should be getting from all these goodies and benefits.
That's the point I was trying to make. Yeah, selling the benefits, yeah.
Selling the benefits because, I think we're relying on the fact that, we're doing a lot for the people and we are.
And do you think it's politics causing that again, Forsyth?
But, the benefits, as I say, have to be sold as much as it is being sold.
Forsyth, do you think it's politicking causing that again?
Yeah, politicking.
And poor communication.
We have to get in the habit of politicizing some of these things. That's just the truth.
Yeah.
It's not about just governing. It's about politicking as well.
Someone who feel like they're more inclined to the People's National Party, they're not going to brag about these things.
Whenever the government announces a program that benefits its citizens, the program should be accompanied by a public relations campaign.
Exactly.
That's the point.
Supports it and it pushes it before, during,
right?
And it must also link the benefit
to the government,
to what is happening in the general economy.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right. Because so people are enjoying benefits enough for which the government is not getting any credit.
How many persons are benefiting now from the NWC initiative? How many persons are benefiting? That you don't hear anything about that. So
the government has a program now where it's building starter homes with a buyback clause, right? How many young persons know about that? How many young persons even know that the government, right? It is this government that reserves 10% of all NHE project, right? To young persons that fall within a certain age group.
But as we said earlier, isn't this where the party needs to support the government?
Yes.
Because I think the government does its PR through GIS, The GIS is its PR arm.
Yeah, but GIS reach is limited.
Yeah, but that's where government PR is done.
But GIS is not for
GIS. The agencies do their PR. And the
JLP is not. GIS is not for the party, It's for whichever party forms government.
Yeah, GIS is government owned. Yeah, it's not a political.
But it's still not the party that the GIS is speaking for.
It's speaking for the government.
For the government, yes, the government.
Right, and the ministries. So the ministries also, and they employ very well paid PR operatives in the ministries,
That's what I said earlier. The agencies need to do more with PR.
You'll see that pick up in the election. But what I'm speaking about now is the party's machinery, the party's PR machinery is probably where there has been a little lapse in ensuring that they have boots on the ground to communicate this. Paul?
Yeah.
What you say? Speak up, no man.
Paul, God, make Gusto say something, because Gusto is here. Gusto.
Yeah, man, greetings. There, man. People, yeah, man, respect. But you never want to break the conversation like that. Me just want to listen some more, then put an input, Yeah.
Now we are talking about the messaging of the party going forward. How they must craft their messaging going forward. Like what kind of approach you need to take in reaching the man, the common man, in particular, right? The grassroots. How do we craft a message, that can resonate with the grassroots?
Well, to every constituency rally across the island, each member of parliament must be able to fluently, out of the top of them head, list out the successes, as possible successes of the current administration, to which them is aligned. One message island-wide. Everybody have the same message. Therefore, for all who don't get it, get it. And also assure people of the existing issues and the plans there are to fix them. That's the campaign strategy. No tit-for-tat like this come at them. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I think that's where councillors feel us. I think that's where the councillors need to do a better job in how they pass on the message, because HR site, we know that you can have a government minister who is very, very busy, especially in a time like this, scrapping budget or like that. It's like the ground is leave empty. The councillors are not filling that void in terms of passing on certain information. The council have direct connection with the constituent itself. One of the laws of being a councillor is they must live in the division or in the constituency or something like that. So the councillor should be the arm for information, but it's not. They are not.
Yes.
They are not. I think councillors can do much better in passing on the government information.
The whole
In the
idea
community.
now is to create a word of mouth effect throughout the communities. Right? And who carries the message, who you give the message to carry is going to be very critical.
You know, in 2016, guys, everywhere you go in Jamaica, you heard 1.5. Some people didn't even know what it meant. But that was the message that coalesced a lot of Jamaicans to feel that something different was happening. We are at this point, and we have this plethora of performances, good things that the government has done. How could it be packaged in a 15-second, message that is on everybody's tongue, shared? It creates a hashtag. It becomes viral. How could we create a viral moment?
Jamaica seem to respond better to your messaging when you're in opposition.
No, I wouldn't say that. No, it's not that. No, man, it's not no opposition. I believe that there is not a collective and a coordinated approach. We haven't seen that yet. I hope it is something that's going to come, but we haven't seen that coordinated approach, right? To get the message across. We need to see the G2Ks, becoming more active. We need to see
young Jamaica.
Yeah, young Jamaicans. Yeah, we need to see advertisements on TV, the radio, social media presence, those little flyers that you see, online flyers that you see. We need to see the WhatsApp blowing up.
Brochure and stuff like
Yes.
that.
We need to build a hype around these announcements. You understand? Right? Paid advertisements, as I say. Get it out there. And to get the people in the communities to carry the message, to the people as well.
But foresight. We must also ask ourselves foresight.
MPs,
But we must also ask ourselves foresight. Are these persons interested in getting the information as well?
I don't get the feeling that they are there for that.
The information can be there, you still don't access it,
Well, we
Are
can.
these persons interested?
Which is what is happening now. We are relying on people to go on GIS. That's not going to happen. You're not going to get it out like that. We have to put it, you have to hang it up in front of them.
You have to bring it to them.
Yeah,
One other crucial thing. One other crucial thing. You see, to be honest, you see, we must face reality sometime. Sometimes the audience are not the most, because you see the more capable people them who able to understand the fluent words, and always them make up the mass rallies. And always them type of people them make up the mass rallies. Meaning 70% of the people them there, no disrespect, are the people them who would consider say, kind of not so fully
level.
understand most of the
Lower education level.
All right. So me no want disrespect nobody. That's
Yeah,
what
we
I'm
don't
saying.
disrespect nobody, but it's just the reality we are talking, yeah.
Right. That's how me deal with things. So when they do them the reality check there. You see the fluent speaking, I know always the right strategy on the mass rally them way in the communities, because I know normally the set of people where the fluent speaking resonate with the most, make up the rally the most, if you believe me.
Mm-hmm. So you have to have, that's why I said the younger people them need to get involved, and sometimes you have to use some of the colloquial terms them too in delivering the message.
That they can rely, that they can express with.
And it can't be too wordy.
Yeah, but
right? It has to be bits and pieces, right? It breaks up in bits and pieces, bullet points, pictorial, use of like pictorial formats.
Before I forget, me just land now for a sec. Actually, the Wi-Fi, I never hear me. So let me just finish now. So basically, what I say then, I'm seeing me answer that figure. Fuck, man, judge. I never want to forget me that I see with the party, and the party crucial.
Yeah, I said the level,
Yeah, yeah.
How
So
them
for
a
example,
part of
now
this
when they
thing.
have a right,
Everybody
right. So
don't
when they
tell me
have a
tell you
portion of the
never
people
tell
out there.
you
Yeah, so when I have a portion of people out there find it hard to understand the authority of the then finance minister say trickle down. Now the trickle down is a thing that is happening under the people them very nose. But probably the trickle down, according to their view, should have been the country giving back grants or some other type of little thing like them there, according to how me I interpret them from the streets, which in the trickle down never mean that. The trickle down really means the more informal businesses that exist, the fact that therefore more Jamaicans are go to work, is set up now the informal economy to boom more. Hence the contribution of the informal economy are range from 40 to 50% GDP contribution. Who makes up the informal economy is who the JLP needs to explain to them who make it up. Tell them contribution. So you make the little man under the lane know say, yo, you see you put up your little stall on the lane and you take time and not earn and you not pay have the stall at your yard front. Yes, the fact that people are pass a morning time going to the formal economy go work and them support you and buy cane and pine from you call that trickle down. Because a broke community I go hungry can trust out your business or always just ask your feet. You get what I'm trying to show you? So I saw the trickle down happen and then you see more taxes on the road because why? More people are get employed in the formal economy. So a whole heap of things are happen under the people who knows it's just probably not being explained in the way so they can really see that happen.
Is it
So
a
when they
case
hear
that
the
these
big word
persons
them
just want handout?
understand.
Is it a case that these persons just want handout?
Not always. Not always.
What he's talking about is the communication, buddy. We have to find a better way to communicate. For instance, and the good news we have to push it out. For instance, I did a research and looked up something. In 2015, right? Only about 6% of Jamaicans or less than 6% of Jamaicans own cars. I don't know if you guys know that. No. Up to 2022, the latest report showed that 20% of Jamaicans own cars and driving cars.
That's big.
That's
a basic commodity. That's a basic.
So hold on. Give us those figures again.
2015. It showed that in Jamaica they had 190,000 registered.
190,000 registered vehicles. Yeah, we have over 800,000 now.
No, 575,000.
575 now.
Up to 2022. So I don't know what it has since 2022. So we had moved from 6%, less than 6% under the PMP, and it's now 20% under the JLP. And that's
no, but look at that. After 20 plus years under PMP government, we only have 190,000 registered vehicles. In less than half the time, we would have doubled that.
575,000. You can go online and check it. And this was up to 2022, which means that they are showing that per capita of every 1,000 people in Jamaica, per capita, 202 driving cars.
And these are the things I talk about because something like car should have been something we that should be at the lips of every Jamaican.
That should be on the lips of every Jamaican. And under the
you remember Roger Clark with the 2 cell phones, huh?
Exactly.
The other.
Big issue. We would love to talk about the economy, and me understand
that would have been a viral moment today, you know, man.
Exactly. And
you know,
Andrew only trying to get the electorate to understand the importance of the economy.
Yeah.
But it's not Andrew Owens alone that is there. We need to amplify these things. We need to get these information. Cars are a big thing for many people.
And Jamaican, we are all materialistic people, so you know that's a big thing, you know. Yeah. And okay, I said, oh my God, how this car number could move so fast? And then okay, I checked and I realized I have a little young lady in my district back where I used to live. She graduated from Money College and got a job. And in 10 months, she bought a car.
Yeah, I will see the increase of vehicles on the road as well. We'll see the increase on the road.
In 10 months, yeah.
All right, so Scotty, 1 minute. 1 minute, come on. So we not to make this pause. So why is the most of the numbers?
Winston, there a long time.
Let me just land this. All right, let me just land this on Uncle Winston slideshow. Let me just land this. So whilst a lot of people out there agree, say, I hope more car up on the road, you have a set of people out there and the reality lick them twist it up and tell the people them say most scammers own car in Jamaica. And that's a resounding lie. While scammers might own a lot of vehicles in Jamaica, them no make up predominantly the driving portion of Jamaica. Stop fooling yourselves. More people in Jamaica work and earn and buy vehicle than people with scam. Now that's an undeniable truth. So yes, a lot of scammers own a lot of vehicles out there. That is an undeniable truth. But we want other people we are drive. In fact,
guys, I am getting the wrap up
yes,
signal.
because more teachers are drive now. Generally, more public sectors people are drive now, unlike before. Next thing, more security guards are driving than ever before. Because you know why? The increase in them salary can privilege them to stay the water. Second-hand car in the first phase and save and buy a brand new one in the third or second.
And the banks are giving out car loan rapidly.
So that is something we should be talking about, you know.
Yeah,
research it, man. Research it, and we need to talk about it, you know.
Yeah, common sense. You know, I was looking at it the other day too, common sense. And it's the reason why I say 800,000, because I was looking at it the other day too, man.
Oh, so it could revert the 800,000, but the number I saw was 2022.
So I was looking at it from 190,000 2015.
Let me just add this to the stats to common sense.
Yeah.
Right before letting Winston. Another thing is that there's a narrative that PMP is trying to push that young people can buy a house now, and it's harder for the young people to buy a house now. Do you know that the number of young persons who would have bought houses, right, and secure mortgages through the NHE since 2016 has tripled?
Yeah.
All right, guys. As I said, I am being told that I have to end it here now.
Okay. Respect. Thank you.
Listen. Common sense. Scratchy, you stayed with me all 3 hours, eh?
Let's spread the message to the neighbor.
We have more work to do. Yeah,
we're on the battlefield right now. You know.
A great source. We want to thank you.
Yeah, because foresight. I say foresight all over as well. I know. I say vote together all over as well. So what they're spreading the message, man. We're not giving up at all.
Chuck was on earlier, and Philippians joined and took over the moderating. Philippians, we can work on this again.
Neighbor, one question. Notice all the way, regardless of how late and we reach, realize all the way have one positive message, generally speaking.
Yeah, man.
That's what we're about, man. Restoring this thing to Jamaica, man.
The
Positive thinking,
you know.
Nah, give up neither.
I have the figures for St. Thomas and St. Mary. But late in the night, we'll discuss that on Monday or Tuesday, and we have much work to do as the election builds up. Let me tell you this, guys, as you sign off. Jamaica today is moving forward rapidly, and there is a fear in the society that if we should return the country to the PNP, we could be in for a rough time just because of their philosophy. I think we all have to, in our own way, you know, me and my neighbor, it's not only about yourself, but how can you get your neighbor to understand what is at stake here?
Let me tell you how you get them. Let me tell you how you get them to understand now, neighbor. Let me tell you how you get them to understand. People need to understand, sir. Yes, you might love your people's national party, but you cannot treat current affairs like sports, where you go just say, when the reggae boys are lose because you're Jamaican, you go stay loyal to them. Or you say, when the West Indies are lose, you go stay loyal because you're part of the West Indies. No, you can't have the same mindset across current affairs nor politics. These things handle your current affairs using your tax dollars. You can't drive your car up on the road unless it is licensed. You can't keep a dance unless you get a permit and you have to pay for it. So therefore, when you make all of them the payments there, you need to pay attention to the people who handle your current affairs and make sure say your current affairs are being dealt with in a manner to benefit you now and future generations of yours. Or if you're just patriotic enough, generally people who are related to you as a whole. But what you know, you must stick to accountability for responsibility. You know what I mean? Hold your elected representatives accountable to the mandate where you give them. Stop treat it like say a sports where you go loyal or when nothing happen. You cannot do that. Sports and current affairs are different thing. So yes, love your people's national party.
What I need to ask our listeners is, are you registered to vote? Are you registered to vote? Yes, you can be the most die-hearted supporter, are you registered to vote? So this is a project that we are on. It's a mission. It's a mission to
the mission is supposed to be geared at getting people to understand the importance of performance over propaganda.
Yes.
And getting people to fear going back to the PNP.
Yes,
those should be two main
mission that we are
goals.
on is to help.
Well, no, but at the same light marriage sister, we never really agree with you in the last part. Eventually, say good talk. So as we're going to stick to positive messaging, Mr. Morris. Sorry, Mr. Forsyth. Sorry, Mr. Neighbor. I'm just give you examples there.
Yes. So in terms of consequences, there are many persons who believe that this is the most consequential election coming up in Jamaica's history.
Yes, I believe so as well.
We have to move forward. We have to continue the course. I mean, this is not about party, you know. I want you to understand that it's not about the party right now. This is about Project Jamaica. We are on a mission to build a better Jamaica. We want to create a Jamaica in which we can raise our families, work, retire, and live. And at the end of the day, this is what we are about. Whatever we can do in our own little way to help the party to dismantle negative views and the propaganda, we want to do that. So Scratchy, thank you, sir. Forsyth, thank you. Common Sense, you must come again. And Delroy, you come on too late, man.
Yeah, man. Okay, guys.
But nobody give me no invitation, say you're on, you nor Forsyth and nobody. I don't know the data Wi-Fi.
You have to follow him, man. Follow him, man. You will know. Just follow him.
Philippians. You can do that next time, bro.
Yeah. Neighbor. I always tell you, say, out of respect, I not tell you what to do, but I feel like you must, out of the fact that we love Jamaica, I love when you play the national pledge in closing out, play the national pledge in closing out. Too much Jamaicans out there don't know what is patriotism, and therefore them don't even know the words of the national pledge. So therefore, we are sensitized Jamaica. We need more patriotic Jamaicans from both sides of the fence, more patriotic comrades, more patriotic Labour Party supporters. Therefore, in doing so, let's remind the people of the precious words of the national pledge or the national anthem. Thank you very much. Good night and thanks for your time. Respect.
Bless you, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I was born in a 2-bedroom boardhouse.
Party business and talk about with politics, right? These little personal squabbles and issues where people like insert themselves and get involved. Yeah, we can't fix it. We can't force one to stop and we can't force the other to apologize. Right? Me only think me a beg Black King as the host of one of the lives them where we're consistent is to not entertain it anymore. Because when they come, you don't want to come to talk about that.
Kizzy,
that's all me did I say.
All right, Kizzy, hear this. Yeah, man. Yeah, me I say
Get more of that, Virgin.
Yeah, Steve, I know that me I talk about, man. When me I talk about
that.
The party business. The party business. Yeah, the party business.
Big man, bro.
So guess what?
King, I want to say something. King.
Yeah, but so hold on, me land. See? So Steve, you know me I say then? See? You see, if we get up in the morning, tomorrow morning, obviously Chavi start one live, and we hear Chavi talk about this, we don't go upon it. And if tomorrow morning he forget up and he start a live, we don't go upon it. And guess what? It's going to stop. It's going to stop. Because if people not entertain the foolishness, they are going to stop. So we need to do that. So enter we see the pasta go on, we could be Jamaica Labour Party business.
Black King,
Steve. Them call each other and do what they do.
Are you live, Bridget? If you're company live with them fucking the big man, show them what your back, Bridget.
Yes.
That's it, Bridget.
Yes, Black King. Get back to the business, Black King. Black King, get back to the business. The Jamaica Labour Party business.
All right, man.
Yeah, Black King.
You know, King.
Training.
Training. Go on, Winston. Go on, Winston.
I just wanted to say, King, that
yeah,
your life is very educational, and it's also very informative.
Yeah.
And I came in from this afternoon, and I hear the back and forth, back and forth, and back and forth, and it don't sound good. Honestly, it don't sound good. And I don't want them to use their yeah.
Portland man, let me stop you 1 second. You remember when I started the live this morning?
Yeah.
And you came on the live. What did I ask you to do for me this morning?
Pray.
I asked you to pray I asked you to pray. It's the first time I asked you to pray, isn't it? This morning when you came on my live, I think it was the first time I asked you, or the second time.
Yeah, second time we did it. We did it last week.
Second time, did it last week. Yeah. And I, this morning when I wake up, I came on, and the first thing I do, I start play some Christian song. I start play some prayer and worship song. You came on, I said, can you pray? Because, and I was telling people that, this is the way I was feeling. I just feel like this is what I need to do today. And I start my thing in a very good mood. Because, I just feel like even when it's the first I come in here and I do it, I play Christian song. And when one done, something just point me to another one. And people come and they start saying, good selection, so I put another one. And then I move it on and start playing, some reggae Christian song and moving on and playing song, because that's how I feel this morning when I start my thing. You come on, you pray. Psalms came on, and Psalms, speak about what we was talking about, our prayer and worship thing. And I say, you know what, we have one already, so cool. Now, whoever come on and say to me that they want to have this conversation here, I am always willing to accommodate people when they come and ask me something and say, can this happen? I'm willing to do it. However, to be honest with you, I didn't know that the conversation was going to lead down to the root of info and traffic. Because I just know chap when I come up on my live and speak about something. And I didn't know that this is what it was going to lead on to. However, when life give you lemonade, you just mix some lemonade with it. So I start to work with whatever was chuck at me at the time and this. Now, honestly speaking,
but
could I do without it?
I'm gonna say this. So most of you know that I know Chopper for a long time, and most of you know that Chopper is like the face of JLP blogging for a while, because he has the Chopping Block show and he has been consistent, right? So Chopper kind of command a certain type of respect among the bloggers.